Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? Visit GoCurrency.com. And by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at LibertyFirstCU.com.
Good afternoon and welcome to Kearney for this presentation of college sports on News Channel Nebraska. So glad you could be with us. It is homecoming here at Cope Stadium and Foster Field. The Nebraska Kearney Lopers at 3-2 will be hosting the defending conference champions Pittsburg State Gorillas at 4-1. I'm Michael Shively. He's Scott Hoffman. It is gorgeous after a couple of weeks on the road. It's pretty good to be back. There's going to be a nice crowd here on homecoming.
Well, I'll tell you what, you couldn't ask for a better day, and we're going to have a good crowd. Got a good football game, two really good football teams. This should be a barn burner.
Pitt State in the top 25, but UNK has played tough against really good teams so far. Last time we talked to you, they lost a really competitive game to Central Oklahoma. Let's go through the game since then. At Central Missouri, this is the team that was preseason number 2 in the country. The Lopers had them on the ropes, just couldn't quite finish it off.
Yeah, I mean, they had a pick six, an 88-yard touchdown, and put them ahead 35-30, and just couldn't hold them off. And then at the end of the game, tried a long field goal and just missed it. So they're playing well against really good opponents. It never gets any easier every week in this conference. They got a tough one again today, but they are playing extremely well.
Well, they went out of conference last week to Nebraska Kearney up to Marshall, Minnesota to play Southwest Minnesota State. It was a shutout, 35-0. The Lopers were able to coast against one of the teams that's statistically at the bottom of all of Division II.
Well, and the big thing, talking to the coaches that last week, was that they had to stay focused. They knew they had a good chance to win that football game, but it's kind of a trap game coming off a big game against Central Missouri. So they did a great job of making a long road trip and answering the bell and playing extremely well.
Now, the Gorillas are the class of the MIAA the last 2 seasons. They do have a new coach. What do you know about Pittsburg State?
Well, I've coached a long time here at UNK, and I was never fortunate enough to beat them. They're always solid. They have a great program. The current head coach was the defensive coordinator, and they've got a kind of a tradition of just a revolving door with the coaches. If one guy leaves, they bump somebody else up, and they don't seem to lose a step. And I expect them to be pretty good today.
Well, the Lopers hope to knock them off their gate here today on homecoming. When we return, we'll set you up with key players and talk to the head coach of Nebraska Kearney on NCN.
Hey, sports fans. Heading to the big game tonight? Make sure you stop by Speedy Mart before you hit the stadium. Fuel up your car and grab your favorite snacks and drinks to keep your energy high. Whether it's chips, soda, or a quick meal, Speedy Mart has everything you need to kick off your game night right. Don't miss out. Swing by Speedy Mart for all your pre-game essentials.
Speedy Mart, snacks before the game.
We're talking key players ahead of UNK against Pittsburg State, starting with the visitors, the Gorillas, and it begins with their quarterback, a familiar face. Everybody in the league knows about Chad Dodson Jr. by now.
Well, he's a solid player, Michael. He's been around. He's got a lot of experience. He's been a 3-year starter. He beat UNK with 12 seconds left 2 years ago.
Oh, boy.
In a game that the Lopers had it won, and they just let him off the hook. He's a solid player. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he'll just keep them driving down the field.
UNK got the win last week with their backup quarterback. Redshirt freshman Abram Schulting started in place of Reagan Jones, but the graduate transfer senior previously at Missouri Western, Reagan Jones, is back under center today. What do you expect to see from Reagan?
Well, I was in practice a couple days. Reagan had a pretty good week of practice. He was nicked up a little bit with a minor ankle injury. He could have played last week, but the coaches chose not to and try to rest him, and he's back. I expect him to play very well today, and he's got a good receiving corps, so hopefully some things will happen.
It's the Lopers and the Gorillas on News Channel Nebraska. Up next, we visit with Ryan Held, the head coach of the Lopers.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
The pregame show is sponsored by Custom Sports. Look great for every game with custom team or business apparel from Custom Sports.
It's Jeep Adventure Days at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Browse our full lineup of new Jeeps like the capable and confident Jeep Compass. And take advantage of our current offers going on right now. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations in Blair or Bellevue today. Serving our customers since 1991. Woodhouse is your trusted Jeep dealer.
Head coach Ryan Held, Nebraska Kearney Lopers with me. Coach, a couple of long road trips, beautiful day. It's homecoming. You happy to be at Foster Field?
We are. You know, we had a couple 7-hour trips the last 2 weeks, and our guys are excited to be home against a great team and beautiful weather out here. Should be a great crowd, so we just want to keep getting better and come out here and compete at a very high level.
Well, you lost a heartbreaker to Central Missouri on the road, and then you took care of business in Marshall, Minnesota. What'd you learn about your team in those 2 weeks?
Well, we just have to keep getting better. You know, we got to keep doing the formula of not turning the ball over, getting turnovers. The biggest issue we have is penalties. We get too many penalties. We've got to be able to eliminate those and not put ourselves behind the 8 ball, both sides of the ball. But I see a team that, you know, we're developing depth. You know, we had some injuries the last couple of weeks, but we should be pretty good today, which would be good. But, you know, we just got to come out and keep competing. We're playing against a great team, but we feel we can go out here and play at a high level today.
Quarterback Reagan Jones missed last week. He's starting today. How's his health?
Good. Yeah, he feels good. We got both our tackles back, Cooper Reese and Jordan Allen. They really haven't played the last 2 weeks, but, you know, it's allowed others to play. And, you know, so Tavis Malloy is a receiver that, you know, has gotten better with some injuries, but we feel good. Wayne Kirby will play probably a little bit more inside. So this is probably as healthiest as we've been in a minute, so we need to take advantage of that and get after it today.
Well, you're going to need it today. You're facing the back-to-back defending conference champs. What stands out when you look at the Gorillas?
Well, they're well coached. They have good players. They do what they do, and it's a program that knows how to win. And, you know, we're in our second year, and, you know, the thing is we're battle-tested, though. We've played against good teams, and so we feel that we can go out today and compete and play at a high level, but we know we got to make sure we bring our A game today.
You grew up around that program. Does it mean a little bit more to try to beat Pitt State?
Well, it's never about me, but my dad did go there. My mom went there, so there's you know, when I was a little kid, I used to go to their games, and, you know, I know some people over there. And again, it's a program of excellence. So, you know, we gotta play our A game, but I know our guys are excited today.
Go get them, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
It's Ryan Held with the Lopers. Stay with us. Starting lineups and kickoff coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency is here to help. Visit gocurrency.com for details. Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com. The pregame show is brought to you by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. And Custom Sports. Check them out at customsportsco.com.
If you're looking to be confident in the used vehicle you're buying, Midway's got it. Our lowest hassle-free prices every day on a great selection of Midway certified pre-owned vehicles. Buy confident at Midway Auto Dealerships in Kearney, Nebraska, or thinkmidway.com.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
here to Kearney. Michael Shifley with you, News Channel Nebraska. And we're getting ready for a kickoff. It's UNK against Pitt State. Time for your school spotlight. That's brought to you by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit gocurrency.com. There they are, Pittsburg State. You couldn't get any closer to Oklahoma and Missouri and still be in Kansas. That is Pittsburg State. A similar enrollment, slightly bigger than UNK, but they really buy into their program. The community of Pittsburgh, surrounding areas, it's one of the fiercest road environments in Division II football. And I haven't been down there, but it would be a fun place to watch a game.
It's well, if you're an opponent, it's not necessarily a fun place, but it is a great atmosphere. They have a double-deck stadium on one side that's filled all the time. The fans are rabid, and it's a great environment.
That is Pittsburg, Kansas. Not too far from Joplin, Missouri. That's where Missouri Southern is. Those programs, oh, it's just like a commute to work to play a road game there. Here we are in Kearney, Nebraska, 35,000 folks, enrollment at about 6,000. Proud program celebrating homecoming today, so the town of Kearney swelling with some extra pride. There's Hall of Fame festivities that happened last night, gonna happen again today. Volleyball, they got a sweep again, still undefeated last night. They're gonna play tonight, so really it's a good time. The homecoming parade, I drove by it earlier and they had the number of floats, and there was 120 participants in the parade today.
Yeah, this is a big day every year in Kearney. And this is a tough opponent we're playing for homecoming, but hopefully our kids will be ready to go and we walk out of here with a win.
Conference champions each of the last 2 seasons, Pittsburg State. There's no shortage of ammunition for motivation in this one. They'll do the toss on the field. We'll get ready with your starting lineups. UNK 3-2. Pitt State 4-1. We'll run through those just verbally for you. Pitt State, their quarterback is Chad Dodson, running back Noah Hernandez, wide receivers Kieran Parchman, Christian Carter. Look out for Jack Roberts as well at wideout. Tight end is Will Huggins. The line, Braden Stein, Carter Stanchfield, Landon Blubaugh, Drew Daniels, and Riley Trejcic. How you pronounce that, the 6'5" senior. Defensively, the line is James Smith, Cole Sample, Jeremy Sharp. Linebackers, Brandon Stegall, Alex Gaskill, Zach Kanan, Jack Barkley. Safeties, Jordan Rogers, Ryan Medeiros. Corners, Dominique Shellman, Jalen Fuchsa. UNK starts Reagan Jones at quarterback, Isaiah Harris at running back. Wide receivers are Stephen Lewis, Shane Daly Jr., and Reggie Anderson. Tight end is Luke Fletcher. The line, Cooper Reese at left tackle, Wyatt Marr at left guard, Carter Klein the center. On the right side, Ikani Tuiono and Jordan Allen. Defensively, the line is Keelan Felton, Stephen Bettina, Caleb Freeland, and Jack Johnson. Linebackers, Parker Wise, David Lilly, Javon Marsh is the nickel. Corners, Jabe Talong, Kendall Brewer. Safeties, CJ Keel and Jameer Jones. Expect Anthony Hebert to get some time at corner here today as well. It will be UNK kicking off to Pittsburg State. Pitt State, depending on your preferred ranking, number 4 or number 7 in the country, a top 10 foe. And here we go, the Lopers with their white pants, blue tops, yellow numerals. They're back to the traditional, or actually they have the big K today.
Yep.
The giant K helmets, the retro throwback for homecoming. Returning from the 4, it's Pittsburg State, and there's a seam to the 25-30 near midfield, and this one could go the distance. A saving tackle there prevents Jalen Fuchsa from doing what he's already done once this season, and that's take a kickoff back to the house.
Yeah, you hate to see that. I think there obviously was a breakdown there in the coverage team by UNK, and you can kind of see it from the end zone here. They double teamed one of the players inside and got a seam, and he was able to pop it.
Fuchs brought a kick back 85 yards for a score in the Gorillas' win over Washburn. So certainly something Pitt State takes pride in. And now their offense sets up in the pistol well into Loper territory to begin their first possession. And Chad Dodson Jr., the veteran senior quarterback, throws to the right side. The Lopers are right there. Strong tackle by Kendall Brewer made on Jack Roberts. Brewer, the 5'11 senior out of Kansas City, transfer from West Texas A&M, played that perfect.
Yeah, he did, and UNK runs a play very similar to that, so UNK's defense see that every day in practice.
2nd down and 8.
Big shift to an unbalanced set here.
And a huge hole along the left side. Good cutback. Jameer Jones makes the stop on the running back Noah Hernandez, and a helmet pops off in the process. That's Jameer, the starting safety, senior out of Maryland, will have to sit out this next snap. It is a 1st down for Pitt State.
Pitt State was able to get leverage right away with that unbalanced set. They switched or traded tight ends over to an unbalanced set, and UNK wasn't able to adjust.
Chandler Brown enters for Jones on defense. Pop pass, turning the corner is Christian Carter. David Lilly tracks him down. The senior out of Wahoo, Nebraska, but not before a gain of about 5, maybe 6 for Pittsburg State.
Pitt's going fairly fast here.
No huddle look, using some tempo. Handoff to Hernandez. Good job by the defensive line to limit that play, but still a few yards and a 1st down.
Pitt State has a new offensive coordinator this year, Kevin Blyle, who spent some time here at UNK and left and went down to Stephen F. Austin in Texas and then became the O coordinator at Pitt. And obviously he's put some wrinkles into their offense. They're going a little faster tempo now.
Started this drive at the Loper 36. Now they're trying to cash in the red zone. Hernandez wiggles forward, doesn't find a whole lot of running room. Jameer Jones lets him know about it. The senior safety jawing with the starting running back for the Gorillas, stopping him after just a couple of yards.
Well, UNK has a second-ranked defense in the conference, but they're on their heels right now. Pitt's making them perform a test.
Ball at the Loper 12-yard line for 2nd and 8. Hernandez swaps sides. Dodson, the 3-year starter, changes the play call. Pressure from the Loper defensive line. Dodson throws it away. Dodson not really a rushing threat. As a matter of fact, 33 carries this year that have gone backwards. Minus 10 rushing yards. Of course, that factors in sacks. But Dodson, he's going to do it with his arm or hand it off.
Yeah, he's a real heady kid. He's not going to make a lot of mistakes, but he's not going to beat you with his legs.
Tough to score in the red zone against UNK's defense. Can the Lopers hold strong? 3rd down and 8 from the 12. Loper fans on their feet early in the 1st quarter. Big shift on the left side for the Gorillas. Dodson looking left, throws, it's caught, that's short.
Good job by the UNK defense there.
Looked up his tight end there. Found William Huggins.
6'7".
Here comes the kicking unit. 3 kickers for this Pitt State squad. They turn to Austin Schmidt here, sophomore from Missouri, 4 for 5 with a long of 36 on the season. This will be a 26-yarder. And the Lopers get hands on it and tackle the Gorillas after they recover the block. Lopers defense holds strong and special teams leaps high to swat that football.
That is an excellent job by the UNK defense, given where the starting field position was for Pitt State to come away with a blocked field goal. That's just a great job.
How about the elevation
of
Tavis Malloy? He's 6'6" already, the wide receiver who's missed some time with injury. That is his role. Long arms, 6'6", show off that vertical and swat that football. That's exactly what he did. He got both hands on it.
He was way up in the air on that one.
Just the second miss of the year for Schmidt. Here's the Loper offense. They'll start at their own 10. It's a handoff, and that's Tamikis Napier gets the start today. And he manages 11 yards, and a gorilla down on the field, Brandon Stegall, the linebacker. Tamikis.
He had a good game last week against Southwest Minnesota, so it's good to see him get rewarded with a start. And he's had a good week of practice as well.
Napier, 5'8", 190-pound senior. Really more of the third or even fourth string back for much of the season, but again, last week in Minnesota against Southwest Minnesota State, he did get some time. On the year, 11 carries for 35 yards is all, and he busted loose for 11 on first down.
UNK's got quite a stable of running backs. They really do. Between Isaiah Harris and Jadarius Thomas, number 21, and then Tamikis Napier, that's a pretty good group of running backs.
That's not to mention Zane Schwong, who has the most career rushing yards out of anybody in that running back room.
Yep.
Jones looking at his legs. I don't see anything different on that ankle. Jones steps up, throws over the middle, nearly grabbed by Reggie Anderson, his top target on the season. A penalty flag on the far side where a wide receiver and defensive back were going at it. Believe that's Stephen Lewis over there for the Lopers.
Unfortunately, that's kind of been a trait for the receiver corps this year for UNK. They have a lot of drop passes. There's a lot of talent in that group, but they just have got to get mentally focused and make those catches.
It was Lewis going against Dominique Shellman. And a face mask on Stephen Lewis. So Lewis called for the personal foul penalty after the play. And a familiar spot for the Lopers, regrettably. They average 88 penalty yards a game.
They're leading the conference in penalties, and they've got to get that cleaned up.
So they need to get to the 31 for a first down. The ball's on the 10, so it's 2nd and 21. Jones. Penalty flag comes out again as the senior quarterback unloads out of bounds. It's been a point of emphasis. We heard Coach Ryan Held in the pregame mention. We can't have killer penalties. See what this one is.
I'm guessing where the spot came in, it must be a hold. Yep.
It is a hold on Ikani Tuiono, the right guard, transfer out of Independence Community College in Kansas. There was a defensive lineman that wound up on the ground, didn't see how. The umpire determined it was a hold. Penalty declined, so it's 3rd down and 20.
That's probably a good decision by the Pittsburg State staff. You got an incomplete pass and you put UNK in a really long 3rd down situation.
Jones alone in the shotgun. Thought about running for it, now throws over the middle, intercepted, picked off by Pittsburg State's Jordan Rogers, the junior free safety, on a ball lobbed up, but a penalty flag back where Jones, the quarterback, went down. Out. So that's Brandon Stegall, the senior linebacker, costing his team 15 yards, but for Reagan Jones, just his 2nd interception of the season. And That one was a desperation heave.
Yeah, he threw it down the middle late, and there was a lot of Pittsburg State players right there. On the other hand, from a positive standpoint, with that penalty, that's as good as a punt.
Great point. Would have been punting from the 10, so that is the equivalent of a 40-yard punt.
Exactly.
Of a 40-yard net punt.
Right.
So really not the worst, thanks to the penalty. Starting at midfield, the Gorillas have the field position advantage again, and a dart thrown by Dodson to the left side. Good route run as well by Kieran Parchman to haul in his 14th reception of the season.
Just a little timing route there by the quarterback, and the receiver made a great route, come back, and the ball was right on time for a first down.
Hernandez still in at running back. Pardon me, not Hernandez, it's Cleo Chandler Jr. Throw to the right side, incomplete. CJ Keel on the coverage. Jack Roberts, the intended target. This is your first quarter. Brought to you by John Henry's, our family serving years. We're gonna likely say Jack Roberts' name a lot today. He is the top wide.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to...
He's split wide to the right now is the senior, Roberts. Run play to the right side, and Cleo Chandler hit hard after a 5-yard pickup. 3rd down and 5 from the Loper 35.
That's the second play that Pitt has run from that balance set. Lopers were able to recognize it, make a pretty good play there.
Nathan Peschik out of Millard West High School, leveling the blow to make it 3rd and 5. Six players near the line of scrimmage defensively. They rush 4. The pass is complete right at the line, and it is good to move the chains. Roberts, his 2nd reception of the first quarter, picks up the first for the Gorillas. And they want to go tempo again. Dodson corrals the low snap and executes the handoff. And a decent gain for Chandler. That's a veteran QB there. Can pick that up off of his shoelaces and still have good timing on the give.
Yeah, he doesn't get rattled too much. It appears that Pitt is trying to go tempo after they get first down. So I think they're trying to get UNK's defense on their heels.
Gorillas offense averaging 30 points per game, 398 total yards of offense on average through 5 contests. They're 4-1. Quick pass, right side, and on 2nd and 6, Christian Carter gets maybe 3. And another 3rd down. 3rd and 3. Public address announcer Brandon Bennett's getting the crowd fired up. Good student section, but it's on the opposite side. Lots of standing room folks today, hoping to deny the Gorillas again. Dodson looking left, has time, goes to the end zone and overshoots his target, Kieran Parchman.
That time UNK lined up in man coverage and it worked out pretty good. They did a great job. Pitt tried to run a little switch route and UNK's defensive backs switched it off very well.
Looks for a second like Pitt might want to go for it. Now they bring out the field goal unit. We saw a miss from Austin Schmidt earlier. Again, they have a few options at kicker, but they're turning to Schmidt again. He's now 4 for 6 on the year. His longest 36. This will be a 39-yard try from the right hash. And this one isn't blocked. It did go through the uprights after some hesitation from the officials. El Loper is down on the field with his helmet off. We'll take a break as they tend to the injured player. Pitt State scores first. They lead 3-0.
New home on the horizon? Loan it to own it. Need a new car to keep you moving? Loan it to own it. Looking for a new adventure? Loan it to own it with Liberty First Credit Union. Liberty First Credit Union is there for every step of your journey. Anyone can join to receive low payments and fixed rates to help get you through every new milestone. When you're ready to own it, loan it through Liberty First Credit Union.
Let's take a look at that field goal again by Austin Schmidt. And yes, so okay, it actually was right down the middle. It hit off of the scaffolding where there's a camera set up immediately behind. Yeah. So I thought maybe it hit off the upright.
That's what I thought.
And no, it hit off of that scaffolding back there. The scissor lift, that's what I should say. Yep, good call by our producer and director, Danny Alvarado. And that's a big field goal for confidence for Pittsburg State, and they take advantage that time of excellent field position.
Tavis Malloy was the player that was nicked up after that play, and again, he's the one that blocked the previous field goal. I think he jumped and came down just a little bit wrong, but he appears to be okay right now.
He's talking to coaching staff on the sideline right now. 6'6", 200-pounder. Lopers will field a kick for the first time this game. It's a 50-yard drive by Pittsburg State. And Darius Thomas waves for the fair catch. Out comes the Loper offense. A unit that got a first down carry on the first snap from scrimmage today. Tamikis Napier found some running room, but then it was a struggle the next 3 plays that culminated with an interception.
Yeah, after that very first down, they had a chance to get another first down. Who had a drop pass and a personal foul by a wide receiver that pushed them back, followed by a holding call. And you just can't have that. They've got to get that stuff cleaned up.
Yeah, they've had several games this year with at least 10 penalties.
Right.
It's a tough recipe to win, but the Lopers have won. They're 3-2 with losses to a pair of top 25 teams. This handoff goes nowhere. 2 guerrillas wind up in the backfield, including Jeremy Sharp, and Isaiah Harris loses 3 yards on first down.
Pittsburg State's defensive line likes to move around a lot, and so they slant, which makes it hard on a zone blocking scheme, because sometimes they'll just slant right into the gap and you can't get your head to get across and get the block.
2nd down and 13 for the Lopers offense, averaging just over 25 points per game. They've had their best scoring outputs in the last couple of weeks. Jones to his safety valve, and the catch made. Impressive effort by Trayvon Martin to secure that football.
Great job by Trey there, and it's a good job by Reagan finding him. That was an excellent catch by Trey Moore.
Trayvon Moore, he's a senior, 6'4", 230, out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Completely looks this part. You see him in a uniform, you don't want to get blocked by him.
No, he's a very good-looking specimen, and he can really play.
He's been waiting to get going on offense. Maybe his first catch can do that. 3rd down and 3. Jones, with the penalty flag coming out, throws incomplete. A diving effort. The effort by Ernest McDaniel Mitchell didn't get there. We'll see this penalty flag. And it's another hold. It's declined, so 4th down. That's Shane Brennan, who was called for penalties in 3 consecutive plays last week.
Now, once again, they just hurt themselves.
Here is Marty Mormino to punt. Redshirt freshman. Averaging 35 yards per punt. 250 plus this year. It's off a high spiraling kick. Roberts retreats to the 15. Now he's reversing course, and pardon me, it's Ryan Medeiros, not Jack Roberts, and Medeiros able to manage the 25-yard line, and that's where the Gorillas get it. So the Lopers still able to play even in field position, at least, thanks to that good punt.
Marty Mormina's become a weapon for UNK. They had a great punter for 4 years with Hunter Krause, and Marty has replaced him very well. He has become an excellent punter.
And that 35-yard average is misleading because 14 of his 32 kicks have gone inside the 20. So that tells you what he's been trying to do this season and what he's executed. The Gorillas, 3 points on 2 drives. First time having a snap on their side of the 50, and Hernandez can't find any running room, and that's thanks to the defense of James Murphy, a 290-pound defensive tackle.
UNK's defensive line has been a factor all season long. They are extremely hard to run the football against.
Murphy coming on here in the middle part of the season. Just 5 tackles on the year so far. That one went for no gain. Play action, good fake, and the ball pops out on a diving attempt. That was Arlandis Mitchell, junior wideout that couldn't haul it in.
That was a well-thrown football. That would have been an excellent catch, but wow. Big third down here.
Coverage on that play by Javon Marsh. He's been a nickelback most of the season, heading out to wide receiver, or rather cornerback today. Jabay Talong playing more of a reserve role. 3rd and 10. Oh, there is the penalty. I thought they might have got away with it. Incompletion, and on 3rd and 10, it's likely to become 3rd and 5. Josh Davies Balagun. I didn't think he actually crossed the line there, but the side judge did see it.
And once again, you just let him off the hook, you know.
They call it on Caleb Freeland. I believe it was Josh Davies Balagun.
I believe it was, Josh. You can see it here.
It
was very close.
Yeah, I think he got that foot
Very
even
close.
with the football there. I thought he might have held up. Not the case. So another chance for the Gorillas.
A 3rd and 5 is a lot different than 3rd and 10 in terms of play selection.
Everybody close to the offensive line here. A tight formation for 3rd and 5. Dodson to pass. Time in the pocket. Throws deep and incomplete. Might have just been throwing that one away. And out comes the punt unit for Pitt State. The penalty does not burn the Lopers.
Great job by the UNK defense there. Great coverage. He had nowhere to go. He had quite a bit of time, but it was a good coverage.
UNK's defense, as you mentioned, Scott, 2nd in the conference. Man, have they been good this year, allowing just 18 points a game. They'll give up some yards, 352 on average, but they don't give much on the rush. Nobody ready, or there was a penalty flag that stopped action.
Pittsburg State had to run a guy on late and ran right in front of the official, so.
All right, let's see it again, top of the screen. Oh my, yep, that is emergency late there. Left-footed punt, high and spiraling, really good kick, and kicks back to the 20. So that's where the Lopers will get it for the 2nd consecutive drive. Mentioning that UNK defense, 18 points a game. They give up 352, but only 74 yards on the ground. If you're gonna get past the Lopers, at least through 5 games, it's generally had to have been through the air.
Yeah, and you know, it's pretty tough to run. They've got an excellent defensive line, and the linebackers do a great job as well. So it's tough to run against them.
The Lopers coming off of one of their best defensive outings in program history. They were tremendous. There's no other way to put it against Southwest Minnesota State. Keep in mind, The Mustangs up there have really struggled this year. They are winless, but they only had 70 yards of offense. The Lopers against Southwest Minnesota State held them to negative 16 rush yards, one of the 10 best defensive efforts all time by this Loper unit.
Yeah, they're playing well, and it was just a situation where Southwest was pretty outmanned. But again, as we said in pregame, when you make a trip like that, coming off a big game against Central Missouri, you worry about letdown, and the Lopers did a great job of making that trip and coming away with a big, decisive victory.
UNK, the big reason why they stand at 3-2 with 2 road victories in the non-conference and a big home win over Northwest Missouri State is because of turnover margin. They're plus 11 on the year and have forced 13 on defense. They're now down to plus 10 after just the second interception thrown by a Loper quarterback this season happened in the first drive this afternoon. That was from Reagan Jones, who wants to throw on first down here. Spins and brought down for a sack inside the 10. Getting in to make the play, Thomas Cook, his second sack of the year for the senior linebacker.
It looked initially like Reagan didn't really need to bail out of the pocket there, although it did break down in the middle. So
a loss of 14 on the play. And again, UNK behind the chains, something that's happened on every possession so far this contest.
Right, it's tough. You've got yourself backed up against the end zone, and you've got 2nd and 24.
Isaiah Harris is the running back. They'll give it to him. Harris fights through a couple of tackles and has a solid gain to the 23. He gets 10 yards back, and it will be 3rd down and about 13 or 14. Harris lost his helmet. Zane Schwang replaces him.
That was a very good run by Isaiah. He's a hard guy to bring down, and at least you give yourself a chance to be in makeable first down territory here.
It is 3rd down and 12. Schwang is the top receiving running back. He'll be to the left of Jones. No tight ends. A lot of guerrillas along the line of scrimmage. They bring 4. Jones steps up, throws, and tipped. Defense supplied by Christian Cross, corner out of St. Louis. And the receiver wasn't looking for the ball anyway. It was trying to get Reggie Anderson.
Looked like there was some miscommunication there between the receiver and the quarterback. I mean, Reggie hadn't got his eyes around yet. Reagan put the ball in a certain area, so I think he was expecting Reggie to be in that spot.
That's 2 incompletions on targets to Reggie Anderson, who is the top receiver with 202 yards on the year. End over end kick this time, takes a UNK bounce, fielded by Medeiros, who gets 3 yards of it back to the 44. The Lopers just 1 first down on 3 offensive possessions here in the first quarter.
Yeah, and to be honest, most of the situations have been self-inflicted. They've had opportunities to move the ball a little bit, and they just haven't made good decisions or made some penalties.
Penalties, and then that big sack on first down.
Right.
Tough to overcome a 14-yard deficit on first down.
Absolutely.
The Gorillas have not been able to take big advantage of good field position thanks to this Loper defense. Dodson throws right, bobbled on the catch by Christian Carter, but he was alone in the flat and still manages 9 yards. Nope, 10 yards, he'll get the first down.
UNK was in a zone coverage at that time, and they were vulnerable out in the flat, and UNK just had to rally.
Another quick pass and another completion. Brilliant tackle. It's Kieran Parchman with the reception, and he's limited on the play by Javon Marsh.
Very similar play to the other side of the field.
7-yard pickup, 2nd and 3. All the wideouts to the right side for this snap. Chandler motions left. They throw out to him, and he gets the first with ease. again, quick pass to the flat.
Yep.
Chandler, 5th grab. The Gorillas do use their running backs quite often out of the backfield. That's 11 catches for running backs this season through 5 games and a quarter. They'll give it to Cleo. And Chandler wrapped up right away. Peshek again. He's been active to begin this contest, the 6', 215-pound junior. Hernandez re-enters.
They've got UNK's back in a zone coverage again now, so I would expect another short pass.
Showed blitz from Anthony Abair, the nickelback. Now he retreats back to line up against Carter, the slot wideout. Handoff. Hernandez has a gap. He's upended by Jameer Jones. A sure tackle made by the senior safety prevents a first down, but still a gain of 6, setting up 3rd and 1.
It's a big 3rd down here for UNK. If Pitt tries to run the ball up the middle, they're going to have a tough time.
In comes Wayne Tay Kirby, the 6'3", 355-pounder, joining the 385-pound Steven Mattina. The big unit defensively. It's play action. Dodson throws. It's incomplete. Broken up. They were looking for Mario Kirby, and Peshek and Brown were there. It's Chandler Brown, the safety.
Good job by Chandler on that play. He really stripped that away from the receiver.
Transfer from the University of Buffalo, number 3, gets his hands in there to prevent the completion. Now 4th down and a yard, and 2 players lined up as linemen on the far left side. Now motion back into a 2-back shotgun set. Dodson keeps himself, and check that, not Dodson.
86.
They go to Luke
Nigaman.
Nigaman. That's his 9th carry, a tight end who comes in that Wildcat-style formation, and he's able to get the yard needed. Not much more than that, but the Gorillas move the sticks on 4th down. They're now 6 for 10 on the year. Really good percentage on 4th down. Could be the final snap of the quarter.
Here's that trade unbalanced formation again.
Toss to Hernandez. He's drilled in the backfield. Anthony Abair unloads. That's why he's starting to get some more playing time.
You know, it's one of those things where you've had some success if you're Pittsburg State in that formation, but sometimes you go to the well too many times, and UNK seen it, kind of knows what to expect now, and did a great job.
Just the 3rd game Abair's played this year, his 11th tackle already. That was the final play of the first quarter. Quarter owned by the defenses. It's 3-0 Gorillas on News Channel Nebraska.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
The Chinese Communist Party weaponizes technology, from spy balloons to cyber attacks. And they use TikTok to target our kids and push their propaganda.
Conservative fighter Pete Ricketts.
That's why I was the first governor in America to ban TikTok on state devices and help pass a law banning our adversaries from owning TikTok. Now I'm working to fight China spying and stop the communists from buying our land. Enough is enough. I'm Pete Ricketts, and I approve this message.
Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. Look at the Pitt State sideline. Tom Anthony, in his first season as head coach, takes over. Previous head coach went to Northern Arizona at the FCS Division I ranks. Anthony was the defensive coordinator. Now he's in his first year, and he has the Gorillas remaining in the top 10.
That's just kind of been the tradition at Pitt State. One guy leaves and they just bump somebody else and keep going.
The Gorillas will have the football, but thanks to a strong tackle by Anthony Hebert, it's 2nd and 15 from the 30. The Gorillas are 1 for 2 on field goals today.
UNK showing blitz and they bailed out of it.
Dodson throws over the middle, caught inside the 10, Roberts to the 6. A 24-yard gain on a bullet out of the right arm of the senior signal caller.
UNK brought one of the linebackers inside. The other one stepped up instead of bailing out into his curl zone, and that's right where the Pitt receiver ended up catching that football.
Q Felton, the defensive end, was in coverage. A little different look. That's what you're used to seeing. Number 4, Keelan Felton, streaking in to make a play in the backfield. He tripped up the running back Hernandez, held him to a yard that time, but he was in zone coverage, middle of the field, the previous play.
Yeah, a little zone blitz on a 2nd and long, which is a good call, but you know, Pitt was able to recognize it and make a good play.
Loper students stomping in the face of the Pitt State attack. 2nd and goal from the 5. All the wideouts on the left side. It's a screen, catch at the 6, and into the end zone heads Kieran Parchment, the sophomore out of Ferguson, Missouri, able to turn the corner and run in without contact until the end zone. A 5-yard touchdown pass from Dodson to Parchment.
UNK's secondary was playing off a little bit. There was looked like a hold that might have been not called by the wide receiver, but UNK was playing off and gave him quite a bit of room to get in the end zone there.
Schmidt trying to make it 10-zip, and it's a low kick, but it was straight. A student section member caught it. And it's 10-0. Pittsburg State in front of Nebraska Kearney. The Lopers offense tries to get going when we return to Foster Field.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
The Gorillas kicking off with a 10-point lead. The Lopers won't need a return there. And that's 10-yard lead thanks to the first touchdown reception for Kieran Parchment on the season. For Dodson, his 9th touchdown pass. He now has 100 completions through 5 games and a quarter.
That's pretty impressive. UNK offensively now has got to try to put something together and keep the defense off the field a little bit. They've got to string together a couple of first downs here and not get themselves in trouble with sacks and penalties.
So what do the Lopers have up their sleeve for some offense? Just 1 first down through 3 possessions, plagued by penalties. Jones gives to Zane Schwong. The Waverly native has running room and bursts free for a first down and more. Eclipses the 40-yard line, and that's a gain of 16 on the first down carry.
That's two possessions that UNK has started out with a run on first down, and both times have gotten first downs.
Play action on tempo. Jones rolls out, throws, has Schwong. Took a second to collect himself and abused, hit hard twice. Bryce Johnson and then James Smith. 4-yard pickup. Got to be tough if you're going to run routes, Division II football.
Yeah, Zane is quite a player. That could have been looked like it could have been maybe a targeting penalty there.
Took a couple steps to collect himself. Here's Isaiah Harris motioning back to running back. They'll give it to him, and that didn't have a chance from the start. James Smith again, back-to-back plays. The Georgia native is a junior, 6'2", 282 pounds, on an experienced defense that returns almost everybody from last season's conference championship squad.
Now, once again, they stunted their D-line. He had a little slant on, and the center missed the stunt, and Isaiah got tackled in the backfield.
Lost 2 yards. That means it's 3rd down and 8. This is your second quarter, which is brought to you by Steve Carper and the crew at O Street Carpet. From the right hash, Jones lobs it up, and Lewis makes an adjustment, can't quite make the catch. Coverage from Pitt State. Is that Cross maybe over there? And
that was
fourth down.
unfortunate. He had him by a couple steps. The ball was just kind of thrown to his outside shoulder, and Stephen was unable to make the transition and make that catch.
Mormino trying to be a weapon here. Pin the Gorillas deep. On 4th and 8. A spiraling high kick. Medeiros from the 6. And terrific coverage. Tyler Perry. He used to be a quarterback.
Right.
Now he's playing the gunner spot. He's a wide receiver, and that was a brilliant tackle in open field.
Yeah, that was a great job by Tyler, getting down there, beating his man, and being right there to make an open field tackle. That's not easy to do, especially for a former quarterback that's not used to doing that.
And stopped Ryan Medeiros, getting just a few yards back. And the worst starting field position of the day for Pitt State. They'll begin at their own 12. 4 down linemen for the Lopers defensively. Dodson wants to throw off a play action. Looks back to his running back and hits Hernandez. Stays in bounds. After a pickup to the 16, that's 4 yards. Again, Nathan Peshek there to make the play.
The one thing that UNK has not been able to do on defense today is get much pressure on Dodson. The O-line for Pitt State's doing a great job of pass protection.
Christian Carter motions from right to left. They'll throw to him. Carter makes the knee-high grab. C.J. Keel gets his legs, and the Indianola, Iowa product is fired up about it. A gain of just 3. It's 3rd down and 3.
It's a big 3rd down because UNK could get some decent field position if they can get a stop here.
Trailing by 2 scores in the second quarter against a top 10 opponent in Pittsburg State. UNK has had plenty of struggles at home against the Gorillas. They haven't beat Pitt at Foster Field since 1982. That's 8 straight defeats. They'll need to come back today to do it. Dodson again with some time, and this time incomplete, well behind his target Carter. And it's incomplete, 4th down and 3.
Ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. I think it was Stephen Matina maybe. Might have been Q Felton.
And Felton. And that's who you expect to be getting in there. 6'4", 245-pound senior playing at a first-team all-conference level. 10 tackles for loss. That time he gets the deflection. Marsh on the coverage. Angled punt, heads out of bounds, and there you have it, Scott. This will be good field position for the Lopers.
UNK's got a chance here now. They've got to do something with the football, and hopefully we come away with some points.
You mentioned that Mormino can be a weapon. Casey Rauchuk is the punter. He's been really good, 41-yard average for the Kentucky native, but back-to-back punts there. Mormino certainly had the greater net yardage.
Definitely. The punter for Pitt's first punt was an excellent punt. That one, he just kind of sidewinded it and it went out of bounds. So the UNK's on the plus side of the 50.
An offense that has shown it needs good field position, or at least it has shown that today. Tough to get going against this Gorillas defense this afternoon. Lots of motion there by the defense before the snap. Jones runs out of the pocket, throws complete for a first down.
Shane
able
Daly
to find Shane Daly Jr., the 6'1 senior, transfer from Idaho State.
Well, that was a good job by Reagan getting out of the pocket and looking downfield, kept his eyes downfield and was able to find Shane.
Jadarius Thomas following the 17-yard pickup through the air. Thomas races up for 9 yards. Be 2nd down and 1 for the Lopers. Their first time operating in Pitt State territory. Folks, please stay around for halftime. We look forward to the halftime show thanks to our friends at Visit Kearney. Find it all in Kearney, including Cunningham's Journal. Cunningham's on the Bricks, 23rd Street in downtown Kearney. Thomas stays in as the back.
Jadarius is by far the fastest running back of the group, and if he gets loose, he'll be able to take it for a long ways.
Goes between the tackles there for 4 yards and moves the chains.
Good job by the left side of the Loper O-line there, getting a good push.
Thomas, a junior college transfer from Cisco College in Texas, originally from high school football hotbed of Marietta, Georgia. 5'9", 200 pounds. Tight end moving out to the right. Jones looks left, has Thomas, has the catch, makes a man miss, and he's inside the 10. They'll mark him down at the 10. 7-yard pickup, 2nd down and 3.
That was a good job by Reagan going through his progression and finding his outlet, Jadarius.
And Jones and company want to move quickly. They get the snap. Handoff, Thomas puts his feet in the ground, dives forward, and moves the sticks once more to the 5. 1st and goal for the Lopers.
Good drive here by UNK so far. They just need to finish it off now.
Thomas staying in the ball game. Moving up the depth chart after transferring in from junior college. The feature back this drive, the best drive so far for the Lopers.
You know, one of the things that this drive is doing is allowing the defense to catch their breath a little bit too, and that's a good thing.
Jones to Thomas. Thomas around the edge, chased down short of the goal line. Ryan Medeiros, the strong safety, with a really good play to prevent a touchdown. Just a 2-yard gain for Nebraska Kearney. It's 2nd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, that was a great play by the Pitt defense, because I thought once Jadarius got around the corner, he probably would get it there.
And Medeiros, really strong closing speed. He is the punt returner, so you know he has some wheels. Showed it. 12 on the play clock for Nebraska Kearney here from 2nd down and goal. 3 to snap it.
You're going to have to hurry here.
Jones gets it back. Steps up, throws, caught, touchdown Lopers. Tuni Fifita. Fifita's 2nd touchdown grab of the season and it cuts it to a one-score game at Foster Field.
That was an excellent job by Reagan of going through. Again, he started to scramble a little bit, kept his eyes upfield, and was able to pick out Tooney. Great job by Tooney Fafita.
He beat Alex Gaskill, the all-conference linebacker, senior from Webb City, Missouri, on that play. Now Trey Pritchard sends the point after through the uprights, and the Lopers on 2nd and goal from the 4. A brilliant pass by Reagan Jones makes it a 3-point game on the Currency scoreboard.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures, out-of-this-world shopping, star-studded evenings, and award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com.
The Lopers get the football near midfield to start that drive, and maybe that was what they needed, but some sort of spark arrived. Perhaps it was Jadarius Thomas at running back. But that drive looked far different from the first 3, and it resulted in a UNK touchdown.
Yeah, they made some plays down the field. Reagan had to scramble a couple times, but he kept his eyes downfield. The receivers made some catches. Jadarius made a couple of very good runs. And you know, field position was kind of set up by Tyler Perry covering that punt.
Great call. Yeah. Kieran Parchman takes that angled kick meant to prevent a big kickoff return, but he didn't just fair catch it. He raced it back the other way and sets up Pitt State near the 40. They'll begin at the 39 for this drive. And not really because wind is a factor. There's no wind today, an abnormal fall afternoon in central Nebraska. The wind maybe 5 miles an hour. And they were kicking into it, but still a little surprised Kyle Failing didn't try for the end zone there.
Yeah, and maybe it was because they had that good return to start with.
It certainly did have that. Low snap to the running back on the direct snap, and Chandler gets a couple of yards before Josh Davies Balagun lays the wood. It's 2nd and 7.
I'd really like to see UNK's defense step up and get get the ball back to the offense, just so that UNK has some momentum. Plus, UNK will get the ball in the 3rd quarter.
Under 6 to play here in the first half on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard, each team with its full complement of timeouts. The Lopers rushed just 4. Dodson, quick pass over the middle, and he misfired, looking for his tight ends. That was Huggins there in the middle of the field. Good coverage by Parker Wise, the redshirt sophomore linebacker.
Parker Wise and Nathan Peshek have had really, both of them have had great years so far.
3rd down and 7. Pittsburg State getting a new play call from the sideline. Chandler is the running back in a 4 wide receiver formation. Wise showing blitz up the middle, and with 3 seconds on the play clock, the defense calls timeout. The Lopers want to get situated before 3rd down and 7. We'll take a break with them. A 1-score game in the first half between top 10 Pitt State and Nebraska Kearney.
This broadcast is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com. And by Platte Valley Auto. With our vast selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, exceptional car care, and custom service, you won't find a reason to visit any other dealership.
Be sure to stick around for halftime. We'll have your full halftime highlights. That's brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. Beautiful day in Kearney, Nebraska. Doesn't get a whole lot better than 77 and partly cloudy. Winds maybe 5 to 7 miles an hour. And it's coming out of the north. And a lot of folks here at the ball game today. The band actually has to set up on the opposite side. Usually they're on our side of the field, but the band on the opposite side because the stands are just so full on homecoming.
Yeah, that's good to see. The student section is pretty good. Of course, the the south end zone is always full. So big third down here for UNK.
3rd down and 7. The Lopers trying to get a stop and have a chance to get the offense the football to take the lead. Dodson throws right side and right on the money. A terrific ball to the chest of William Huggins and a major conversion on 3rd and long. A 30-yard pickup on 3rd and 7.
Stephen Tolan just didn't get his head around it. I think if he'd have got it around, he probably could have knocked that down.
No surprise, the Gorillas run tempo after getting the 1st down pickup. Hernandez doesn't go anywhere. Josh Davies, Belogan, and Nathan Peshek. 2nd and 9.
They're just unable to run the football against UNK's defense, but they've been able to make some critical 3rd down throws.
And we don't have our live stats so far this afternoon, but the 3rd down conversion rate is pretty impressive right now for Pittsburg State. With trips to the right side, it's a screen to Carter. Christian Carter finds the sideline and races out of bounds. He took a step out after just 3 yards, and it's 3rd and about 5 from the 23-yard line.
So the terminology we use as coaches is that's a formation into the boundary. So they went unbalanced trips into the boundary and were able to throw the ball out there, but he stepped out of bounds. It was a pretty good design play.
Another chance for the Loper defense to manage a 3rd down stop.
I would look for a play action pass out of this. They have not shown a pass out of this formation yet. Nope.
It's a handoff, and Chandler gets good blocking, gets the 5 yards he needs, and the Gorillas set up 1st and 10 in the red zone. Credit the Pittsburg State O-line. Confidence from the offense to run it on 3rd and 5. Wise shows blitz up the middle, and the Gorillas look to the sideline.
I believe that might be the 1st or 2nd 1st down that Pitt's got running the football today.
Senior quarterback Chad Dodson, play action, penalty flag out, points to the end zone, throws it away. Could have been a free play. They didn't call it dead, so it wasn't an illegal procedure on the offense. Oh, I'm corrected.
Illegal formation. I think one of the receivers must have lined up in the backfield.
Well, they moved the football back. They'll have to bring it back to the between the 17 and the 18.
Center judge and line judge got a little bit happy there, I think. They figured it was going backward.
So head coach Ryan Held in his second year for Nebraska Kearney, the former Nebraska Cornhuskers running backs coach. He declines the penalty, likely consulting with defensive coordinator Tim Schaffner, and it's 2nd and 10. The Lopers bring a blitz. Dodson steps up, has running room. Following a blocker, dives forward. And depending on the spot, he'll be near the first down. He's marked at the 8, and he's less than a yard shy. It's 3rd and inches.
Here comes their Wildcat offense. I'm assuming they're just going to snap the ball to 86 again, and he'll try to get the first down.
Luke Nigaman was the 4th down direct snap ball carrier in the first quarter. This is his specialty. 3rd and less than a yard. Nigaman keeps, has the 1st and more, punished inside the 5, but he got the first down. And another 3rd down conversion for Pittsburg State. It's their best down.
Yeah.
1st and goal from the 4.
Yeah, UNK's defense has been outstanding, except for 3rd downs today.
First down goal, Pittsburg State.
The Gorillas trying to build their lead back to 2 possessions, under 2.5 to play in this first half. They will have to snap it before the 2-minute timeout. Nigaman remains in to get the direct snap. This time he hands it off to Chandler, and they gave it to Hernandez, and he's corralled at the 5. He lost a yard, and it's 2nd and goal. The Loper defense fired up about that stop. It is the 2-minute timeout. UNK trying for another goal line stand. They trail by 3, the tail end of the first half.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
There's something dynamic about a team, a family, a community. At UNK, we thrive on collaboration, turning individual strengths into collective triumphs. Lopers are known for healing others, for big business ideas, for teaching and leading, for being the first generation and inspiring the next. With support from application to graduation, get an affordable education with powerful results. While one can be strong, together, we are unstoppable. That's the power of the herd.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. Use Safe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
If you're looking to be confident in the used vehicle you're buying, Midway's got it. Our lowest hassle-free prices every day on a great selection of Midway certified pre-owned vehicles. Buy confident at Midway Auto Dealerships in Kearney, Nebraska, or thinkmidway.com.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Almost a
Dodson.
swinging gate look there.
Yes, good points. They had the linemen split out wide, now bring him back in. Dodson returns at quarterback. He's looking right, throws the fade, and it's incomplete. Coverage by Chandler Brown, giving up several inches to the 6'7" William Huggins. As a matter of fact, giving up half a foot, and it's 3rd down.
That's a pretty good job by Chandler. And one thing about the MIAA, they do let defensive backs and receivers fight for the football in the secondary.
Their favorite down for the Gorillas, 3rd down. They have 3 3rd down conversions this drive alone. Trips to the right for this goal to go snap from the 5. Dodson getting pressured, heaves to the end zone, incomplete.
Another great job by the UNK defense on the third down.
Parker Wise gets to the QB, forces the incompletion. Dodson still gave his receiver a chance, but the Lopers break it up. That's Bear getting a hand on the football intended for Huggins. And out comes Austin Schmidt, who's 1 for 2.
Well, if UNK can get out of this drive with just giving up 3 points, you can almost take that as a win.
A 22-yard try is true, and that makes it 13-7. The Lopers will receive the kickoff with 1:46 and 2 timeouts to work with. A touchdown and extra point could get them the lead when we return to Foster Field.
This broadcast is brought to you by Stonebrook Exterior. Schedule a free estimate or learn more at stonebrookexterior.com. And by Yellow Van Cleaning and Restoration. Visit us at yellowvan.com to schedule an appointment or learn more.
The Chinese Communist Party weaponizes technology, from spy balloons to cyber attacks. And they use TikTok to target our kids and push their propaganda.
Conservative fighter Pete Ricketts.
That's why I was the first governor in America to ban TikTok on state devices and help pass a law banning our adversaries from owning TikTok. Now I'm working to fight China spying and stop the communists from buying our land. Enough is enough. I'm Pete Ricketts, and I approve this message.
Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman, our crew, led by Danny Alvarado this afternoon, here in the middle of the state of Nebraska. Good drive by the Gorillas, just as good a defense from the Lopers. Thomas will return it from the 1, gets to the 19, and he is stuck there. What a hit. Derby McReynolds, senior out of Girard, Kansas, and the Lopers burn some time and just get it back to the 20.
Yeah, it looked like Jadarius was going to have a little bit of room. That was a great job by Reynolds there, filling on that kickoff coverage.
We're going to have a good view of it here.
Just a good, solid tackle.
Well, here comes UNK, and an interesting proposition at the end of this half. They will get the football to start half number 2. Pitt State has all 3 timeouts. They could call those defensively.
Right.
Try to get the football back.
So, yeah, it's really critical that UNK gets a first down or 2 here just to end the half. You'd like to go down and score, but obviously get a little bit of time off the clock.
Shane Daly motions on the right side. Jones in trouble. Evacuates the pocket and throws incomplete. Stumbled a little bit after he rolled out. Not intentional grounding, and it's 2nd down and 10. Just 5 seconds off the clock there.
Right, so what you did, the incomplete pass doesn't run much time off the clock, and so you kind of give Pitt a little bit of a reprieve without having to use their timeouts here. It's critical now that UNK get something down the field a little bit.
Tamikis Napier is the running back. And on 2nd and 10, Jones wants to throw. Goes down the left side. A low percentage play to Daly, and that took 5 seconds. So the Lopers have used 10 seconds of clock. Pitt State has all 3 timeouts, and it's 3rd and 10. Big snap coming up.
Big time here. You'd like to
no running back.
Maybe a screen or something just to kind of get the ball down the field.
Maybe a quarterback draw even. Looks like there is a spy out there in Jack Barkley. He's getting his defense aligned. 10 seconds on the play clock for Jones and company.
UNK might not be lined up. There we go.
1 second. They barely get the snap off. Jones facing pressure from behind, throws it away. And 3 incompletions for the Lopers, taking 17 seconds. Pitt State has a chance to have excellent field position and 3 timeouts to work with, up 6. And a Loper offensive lineman writhing
in the middle of the field.
Akani Tuiono. They're looking at his legs, so hopefully it's nothing too serious.
He is in pain right now. We'll look again. Unblocked from behind, so Jones didn't have a whole lot of time here, but nobody getting open either.
No.
Tough situation for UNK. If you're thinking strategy, it's what we've been talking about. If you're Ryan Held, you're trailing. You want to. You have a chance here, the touchdown and extra point, to take the lead. You want to take the drive seriously, but at the same time, you're only down 6, and there's now plenty of time for Pitt State to work with to set up maybe a field goal, maybe even more.
Right. You know, it's a one-score game right now, and the last thing you want to have happen is good field position by Pitt State. They have all 3 of their timeouts, and they can punch another one in, and all of a sudden you have a 2-score game going in at halftime.
We're going to take a short break as they tend to Ikani Tuiono. The Lopers will punt it away when we come back.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
This broadcast is brought to you by Ashley Furniture. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com. And by Platte Valley Auto. With our vast selection of new and pre-owned vehicles, exceptional car care, and custom service, you won't find a reason to visit any other dealership.
Well, there is Ikani Tuiono, the junior out of Harbor City, California, wishing the best for him after an apparent leg injury. Lopers punting it away. Mormino, a high spiraling kick again. Taken from the 29. Medeiros runs into his own guy, but still able to shake loose for 4 or 5 additional yards to the 34. 1 minute and 11 seconds on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard for Pittsburg State. 3 timeouts to work with, and we've seen them get the kicking game figured out a bit after that initial field goal block.
Right.
You'd say they probably need to get to the 25, around there.
Yeah, that
to
would
try
that would make it about a 42-yarder. And they have all 3 timeouts. I'm sure they're going to be in some tempo here, moving the ball fairly quickly. And they're pretty good at throwing just short routes and just matriculating the ball down the field.
UNK putting pressure on its defense, but for the most part this season, defense has been able to absorb that pressure. It's a handoff up the middle and a first down, 9-yard run. That was Hernandez, and another Loper injured. We'll see this run again by Hernandez. Jameer Jones made the initial contact.
Looked like Nathan Pescic.
And he's been standing out on defense today.
Yeah, he's had a good day so far.
Pescic, the junior linebacker, Millard West High School in the Omaha Metro, 17 tackles and an interception this season. 2.5 sacks to boot. He would be a big loss. Looking at the upper body. 6-point ball game right now. Be 2nd down and 1 for Pittsburg State. And additionally, your focus here is on Pescic. Great football player. But additionally, this did stop the clock. It would have been running after this run play.
Right.
So Pitt State not only has maybe the best defensive player of the day, on Q Felton, but one of the best defensive players for the Lopers out, and they get time to diagram their next play without any time expiring.
And the way they're holding his arm, it doesn't look good. I'm assuming he probably won't be back in the rest of the day.
That's the spot you hold if it's a shoulder. Looking at his right shoulder, and Peshek takes off the helmet in frustration. So consecutive series where the Lopers lose starters, one carted off, one helped off in obvious pain with his right arm completely supported. Coach Held told us in the pregame his team about as healthy as they've been all season. Can't say that going into halftime.
Right.
2nd and 1 for the Gorillas. Dodson, time in the pocket, throws complete. Huggins, his favorite target so far. Lopers signaling that it was tackled in bounds. I believe that's the case.
But the clock stops on a first down anyway, so it'll start here shortly, and they're already lined up.
They said he went out of bounds.
Okay.
Dodson on play action, wants to go left. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of Parchman, who has a touchdown grab today. That would have been a first down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
That was a little bit of a dangerous pass. It was a long throw, and the ball came out of there. Javon Marsh could have been maybe a step over to the left. He might have been able to intercept that thing. And again, Pitt State didn't have to use any timeout there. So.
Jeremiah Cox has come in to replace Nathan Peshek. Cox, a senior, transfer out of the College of Canyons. The ball on the 45. Dodson, it's batted down by Keelan Felton. That was a forward pass, wasn't it? Felton picks it up.
Well,
Felton's going to take it back. There goes Keelan Felton. He had the deflection. He picks it up, and he races it back for 6. As it stands right now, we have a tie football game.
Did not see that coming. That looked like it might have been a forward pass, but great job by Q there.
Terrific individual play.
It might have been backward.
Parker Wise tried to pick it up and couldn't. That allowed Felton to get over there, scoop it, and score it.
I'm sure
and
Pitt
here's the
will
review
this.
And I'm just going to say this right now, Scott. Q Felton is the best defensive player in the MIAA.
Oh, I think it's, without doubt.
That's a great view. We had a great view of it there.
It looked like it was a legit touchdown from that view.
I called it live, assuming it was a forward pass. That was a mistake.
I did too.
And they let it play on. Credit to this officiating crew. It was a great job by the officials to let this play out.
Exactly.
So that it is a Loper touchdown if it stands. Tough to say.
Yeah.
A reminder, as always, these are not the views the officials are looking at. They have a different set of camera angles.
Right.
They are not using our camera angles.
Right. Q Felton is 6'4". He's got long arms, so that thing could have been a backward pass.
Q Felton is a defensive end leading the team with 34 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. He gets a pass deflection at a minimum there. He might get a fumble recovery for a touchdown. He has not been MIAA Player of the Week yet. Give it to the man.
Exactly. Regardless of if it's a touchdown. If it's a touchdown, definitely.
This is a challenge from Pittsburg State. They would lose a timeout, which is irrelevant at this point in the first half. So an obvious situation for Tom Anthony to challenge. And an official going all the way over to Ryan Held, who's as far away as possible. He gets quick word. And we'll see what the call is. Now the officiating crew exits the tent and has the call. Pittsburg State survives a disastrous ending to the half. Keelan Felton, oh, he loses a scoop and score after the deflection. Still a pass breakup for the defensive end and a high-level play. Nobody else in the conference is making that play.
I agree, and you're right. The officials did a good job of letting that play out and then making the judgment based on the review.
That's how I saw it live. It was pretty darn close. Here's Dodson wanting to go deep, gears up and throws it that way. It's intercepted, but a penalty flag comes out. Chandler Brown with the INT. Standing there saying, what did I do, is Javon Marsh. He was locked up in coverage against the Gorillas.
That's such a tough situation because the ball's a little bit underthrown. So the receiver stops, and now the defensive back doesn't have any hope except for running through the receiver.
Yeah, that's PI on Marsh. Kieran Parchman was the intended target. It was not a good throw.
No.
And it's tough to say it's not pass interference there. It's a hard luck play. It's a hard luck play, but that looks like the right call.
Yeah, it's a lot of contact, but you know the receiver was making as much contact as the
he was coming back to the football, and it's just a tough spot to be in if you're Javon Marsh, who's a nickelback. Moved to corner today. They liked how he's been playing. He's starting in place of Jabe Talong.
Right.
And that was just a tough one for Javon. A good play by Parchman to come back to the football.
Yeah. And now you got a situation where there's conceivable a field goal. They're in field goal range now.
Still all 3 timeouts for Pitt State. Dodson to the end zone, incomplete. So the Gorillas dodge turnovers on consecutive plays.
Right.
One of them overturned by review and the other negated by a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and who knows, had Marsh let him go, Brown would still have had a great chance to get that interception. He had a better chance at the foot. Of course, Marsh would know it. There's no way for him to know that.
Right, exactly.
But the Gorillas, with my point, is that's a couple of good breaks in consecutive plays.
Without a doubt.
4-man rush. Dodson, incomplete. He was trying for Christian Carter along the right side. 3rd and 10.
Well, another big third down here again. 3rd and 10. Last time it was 3rd and 9, and we had a pass interference penalty.
Be about a 44, 45-yarder from this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no wind really in his face. It's a little bit coming out of the north, so that could affect it. One thing about it, longer kicks usually take a lower trajectory. Tavis Malloy has already blocked a point, so.
Including on a point after he hit really low.
Right.
The timeout taken by the Lopers. There's 24 seconds remaining here in the first half on the Currency scoreboard. Michael Shifley, Scott Hoffman with you. Glad you could be watching today on Allo Television, channels 180 and 183, also online via the MIAA network. And UNK hosting a top 10 foe, number 7 Pittsburg State, 4-1 on the year, back-to-back MIAA champs. This is a high-profile opponent and something the Lopers are getting familiar with. After today, in the first half of the season, they'll have played Pitt State, Central Oklahoma, Central Missouri, and Northwest Missouri State.
Yeah, I mean, that's murderer's row, you know. I mean, it's not to say that the second half of the conference season is easier, but you're going to play teams that have records similar to what you have that aren't nationally ranked. But, I mean, and UNK's played well.
They have gone toe-to-toe with each of those opponents and are doing so again today. And a stop here would go a long way to keeping it within reach at halftime.
Exactly.
Out of the Loper defensive timeout, UNK not putting any hands in the turf ahead of this pass rush. They bring 3. Dodson to the right side. Oh, what a hit. Jeremiah Cox in for Peshek. puts the shoulder into the chest of Christian Carter,
Great
who will
job.
be feeling that into next week.
Yeah, great job by Jeremiah there. They tried to flare their back out, and as you mentioned earlier, they do a good job of throwing the ball to their backs. It's a well-thrown football, but just a good job of stocking the back is the term we use. You have to be careful. You don't get a penalty there, but great job.
47-yard try, timeout, Lopers.
They have
Pardon
their
me,
other
that was
kicker in.
Noah Hernandez, the intended receiver, and a different kicker is out here.
They brought in their long-range guy.
Well, it's interesting because they have all of these different kickers, 3 of them,
Right.
but none of them are really the long-range guy.
Right.
Because Hayden Kazicki, who just came into the ball game for this kick, his long is 31.
Well,
he's
there you
2
go.
for 3 on the
Yeah.
season. But based on what Austin Schmidt, he's hit 2 field goals today.
Right.
But they've been low trajectory.
Yeah, maybe
and
this
you're worried
guy-
about the block.
Maybe he puts the ball up in the air a little bit more. Boy, a miss here or a block here would be just a great benefit to the UNK. They even have Shane.
Just Shane Brennan is
Shane
out
Brennan
there at
in there.
6'9".
6'9".
offensive lineman.
Tavis, 6'6", who can jump. Quillen is 6'4", he can jump.
47-yard field goal is up, and it's hooking to the left, missed. The Loper defense
job.
once again able to deny the end zone and deny points to the Gorillas.
Yeah, and Pitt did not burn a timeout during that
Amazing.
whole series.
And that 1 minute of game action took half an hour.
Right. Well, UNK just needs to get in the locker room at halftime now.
Oh, yeah, yep. They have no timeouts left in 15 seconds. This is a kneel-down formation, and they'll be quite thankful to be
Right.
escaping to halftime down
Definitely.
just 6.
Definitely have to take a breath here.
Tip of the cap to the Nebraska Kearney defense. They allow 13 points in the first half to Pitt State, a team averaging 400 yards a game, and they gave them good field position the whole time and double the time of possession. The Lopers, one good offensive drive that keeps them in this ball game down just 6. Folks, stay with us. At halftime, we have a lot to bring your way. A couple of new buildings opening on campus. We're going to show you the Regional Engagement Center. We're going to show you the $25 million renovated library. Also, it's homecoming, an extended halftime that includes a recognition of new UNK Hall of Fame members. Please join us for that coming up on News Channel Nebraska.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
There's something dynamic about a team, a family, a community. At UNK, we thrive on collaboration, turning individual strengths into collective triumphs. Lopers are known for healing others, for big business ideas, for teaching and leading, for being the first generation and inspiring the next. With support from application to graduation, get an affordable education with powerful results. While one can be strong, together, we are unstoppable. That's the power of the herd.
When the game wraps up, or even before kickoff, our community welcomes you with open arms. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you here, and we want to show you what we're all about. From wide open spaces to music, shopping, entertainment, and more, there is always something for you to discover in our city. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit Lincoln.org. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Our halftime show, brought to you by Cunningham's Journal on the Bricks on 23rd Street in downtown Kearney. NCN Sports is brought to you by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. By Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Welcome back here. Halftime, homecoming. Beautiful day for football in Kearney. UNK hosting Pittsburg State in an MIAA matchup. Nothing but conference games remaining for the Lopers. The score at the break, 7th nationally ranked Pitt, 13, UNK 7. No surprise, the Lopers hanging right with the Gorillas. Michael Shifley, Scott Hoffman with you. The band entertaining on the field. Let's show you our first half highlights, brought to you by Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island locations. Taking a look, it's UNK football here. They're backed way up. Reagan Jones trying to make something of it on the first possession, heaves the football up, and it's intercepted. Credit to Pitt State's Jordan Rogers for that INT. There was a 15-yard penalty afterwards, so it just put the ball to the 50, and they tried the field goal. This one did go. The earlier field goal was blocked by Tavis Malloy. This one sails through the middle of the uprights and the first points of the game. UNK trying to operate on offense again, and again, it's not going too well. Thomas Cook with the sack of Reagan Jones. First 3 drives ended up going backwards for UNK. Pitt takes advantage. Not on this play, thanks to the defense of Anthony Hebert. Puts a stop to Hernandez in the backfield. But eventually Pitt able to get a touchdown. An open look to Kieran Parchman, his first of the year. And it's 10-0 at this point for the Gorillas. UNK, though, their best drive after getting field position near midfield. And they have the answer. Jones has time to step up in the pocket and finds Tuni Fafita. Really good throw. Underrated throw there, stepping up in the pocket. He put it right on the money in front of his target.
Yeah, Tuni did a good job, too. You can watch those receivers. They adjusted once Reagan started to scramble and started to try to find open space.
Nearly a block again there by Tavis.
Yeah, right.
That field goal does go through. Perhaps that's why Austin Schmidt did not come out for the final kick of this half. Look at that hit. My goodness, Jeremiah Cox, 5 tackles on the year, getting a lot of playing time now in place of an injured linebacker. And a missed field goal to finish out that first half. So Pitt State goes 2 for 4 on field goals and gets 1 touchdown in that first half. That's why it's 13-7 on the scoreboard. We just got stats, and it is roughly double in time of possession. What we were curious about, Pitt State had the football for 19 minutes and 44 seconds, UNK 10 minutes and 16 seconds.
Yeah, and Pittsburg State ran 50 plays in the first half to UNK's 25. It's just crazy. It's another testament to the UNK defense.
They're as good as it gets, folks, and showing it off today, but they're going to need some help from special teams, some help from the offense in the second half to come back against Pittsburg State. When we return, we're showing you a couple of new features on the UNK campus, the Regional Engagement Center, and the renovated library. That's coming up on your halftime show on News Channel Nebraska.
This broadcast is brought to you by Stonebrook Exterior. Schedule a free estimate or learn more at stonebrookexterior.com. And by Yellow Van Cleaning and Restoration. Visit us at yellowvan.com to schedule an appointment or learn more.
When the game wraps up or even before kickoff, our community welcomes you with open arms. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is happy to have you here, and we want to show you what we're all about. From wide open spaces to music, shopping, entertainment, and more, there is always something for you to discover in our city. Stop by the Visitors Center at 7th and P in the Haymarket or visit lincoln.org. The Lincoln Convention and Visitors Bureau is a proud supporter of high school athletics.
Do you know when the worst time to find out your sump pump isn't working? The day you need it. At John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, we're offering a $59 sump pump inspection, so you won't have to find a watery surprise in your basement after a storm. For just $59, our licensed and experienced service professionals will examine your sump pump, inspecting its major components to ensure your sump pump is ready and working when you need it most. Hurry, this offer won't last long. John Henry's, serving your family since 1996.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry, cause you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do, just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you at halftime. UNK and Pittsburg State. It's Pitt State with the 6-point lead. Folks, a really exciting time at UNK. Lots of progression in the facilities, including at University Village. That's the development immediately south of campus, university owned, but it's a public-private partnership. The Regional Engagement Center cut its ribbon here just last week. What used to be a cornfield on the west side of Kearney is now transformed into University Village. The cornerstone of the urban village in a rural setting is now open. Dignitaries from across the state dedicated UNK's Regional Engagement Center on Thursday.
You know, today is one of those milestone days in the history of the campus.
Former Chancellor Doug Christensen spent years crystallizing the idea for the Regional Engagement Center. Dr. Charlie Bysack was by his side for that process and is now interim chancellor for its grand opening.
Frankly, it's stunning and it's also startling because there was a lag period in which we weren't able to accomplish too much. But once the buildings began to take shape and we had rooftops and importantly people on this part of the campus, it simply took off like a rocket.
The 52,000 square foot facility is meant to host student and faculty meetings, continuing education courses, and university events. It's also the new office for Lucas Dart, who leads the UNK Alumni Association and NU Foundation.
The university now is about engagement. It's about what can we give the taxpayers of the state back for their investment in us, and how can we pull other resources in to make it that much better.
But the building isn't just for university use. It's also home to private businesses like Olson, Wilkins Architecture, Chief Industries, and Allo Fiber. It's all part of the effort to make it a true hub for the region and community.
It's a place that welcomes students, welcomes faculty, welcomes staff, indeed welcomes the Kearney community. It's open to all.
The $15.6 million structure includes ample conference rooms and event spaces. It features one room designed to host functions like the Board of Regents meetings.
Flexibility and technology. Those are going to be the things that if we're going to spur other development here, we need to have.
UNK is welcoming requests from businesses to build and fill out the rest of University Village. But for now, they're proud of the development's new centerpiece.
People walk in and they go, wow, they're impressed. And I think that ups their investment in the university just right there. It's like, I want to be a part of a winner, and this is a winner. It really looks like a winner.
In Kearney, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska. Well, there you go. A look at the Regional Engagement Center. Your wife works over there, Scott. You enjoyed paying her a visit yet?
Yeah, that's a pretty nice building. It's a definite upgrade from the old building. So she's happy to be there, and it's a beautiful place.
Well, they're honoring the homecoming King and Queen and Homecoming Court today. We'll tell you about them shortly, but first we want to tell you about something else new coming to Kearney. If you haven't heard yet, you got to check it out. The Kearney Sportsplex, owned by the city. It plans to open in spring of 2025, south side of town. It will include a 59,000 square foot hardwood gym, 66,000 square foot premium turf field, 300-meter track, 4 pickleball courts. Sportsplex plans to host local and regional events, has already booked many into the next couple of years, wrestling, volleyball, and pickleball tournaments. Even the folks watching from southeast Kansas, there might be a reason for you to come check out the Kearney Sportsplex. It's hosting several youth tournaments, countless youth events, and it's just a pretty cool building for the next time the Gorillas are taking on the Lopers. Might be worth the trip. That is the Kearney Sportsplex. Folks that visit Kearney, hard at work promoting that. We continue our tour of new things in Kearney. Just showed you the Regional Engagement Center. The Sportsplex will open in the spring, and this is new on campus. The library completely renovated. They took it down to the studs over the course of the last 2 years. It's now open this fall. Here's a look at it, hearing from both the Dean of the Library and the Director of the Loper Success Center.
Our focus is on providing services. So we have massive collections that are both in print and online, but the more important thing is to help you find that information. So part of the renovation included moving the books onto the lower and upper floors primarily, and by moving most of the librarians' offices to public spaces on the first floor of the building meant that getting help became more important than getting a book.
To kind of now be in a place that existed as an idea for so long, and to see how students are using it, and to see how, like I said before, students just feel like this is their place, you know, and so that's really great to see. Because you know we're here for them, and so we want them to feel as though you know this is their home away from home, so to speak.
Well, exciting stuff at UNK, and I'm sure, Scott, all of your students are spending lots of time in that new library building.
I do my best to make them go there, but I'm not sure that that actually happens.
So another thing, I did get to check this out. It's a cool deal. You can see it on our website, newschannelnebraska.com. But they have old football schedules. They have tons of old memorabilia in the archives there. I just pulled up on my phone the 1968 Kearney State College schedule. This is back in the NAIA days. They opened at Washburn, home against Fort Hays, went at Eastern Montana, at Hastings College just down the road. They played Peru State at home, played Wayne State at home, went at Chadron State, at Morningside, and played Northern State out of South Dakota in Kearney. That's a pretty fun schedule. You get 4 in-state schools and some future MIAA foes. That was back in '68.
Yeah, there was, I believe they called it the Nebraska Athletic Conference, and Peru, Wayne, Chadron, and Kearney were all in it, along with a couple of the private schools. So, you know, that had to be a lot of fun because you didn't have to travel too far, and there probably was a lot of in-state rivalries.
Right now, the Hall of Fame class being announced. You can see on our screen that you can follow the latest. You want to stay up to date. Some of those things we're talking about, we're sharing out a lot of those videos. NCN Sports on X, where you can follow us there. But on the field right now, Interim Chancellor Charlie Bysack, Athletic Director Mark Bauer. And as they read off these Hall of Fame names, let's give you a little bit of background on them. So the first one inducted there was Jen Dynas, now Jen Hansen, a 2002 graduate. A Cairo native, is one of the most accomplished women's golfers in school history. One of 3 All-Americans and one of 3 Lopers to individually qualify for the Division II championships. She averaged an 80, and she has some of the best marks still to date in program history. Also, runner Tom Magnuson. Tom Magnuson, an O'Neill native, joins a former teammate, Bobby Brindamore, in the Hall of Fame, the only lopers to be 3-time cross-country All-Americans. On the track, he was a part of 4 school records. He's a 1995 graduate. Wrestler Kurt Karjalainen, a 2001 graduate and native of the state of Washington, one of the building blocks for UNK wrestling, helping to transform the program into the national powerhouse it is today. A 2-time All-American at 134 and 141 pounds. He was the national runner-up in 2000. And a baseball player as well, David Pratt, a 1977 graduate, is going into the Hall of Fame from just north of Kearney in Riverdale, one of the top baseball players in Loper history, one of 6 2-time All-Americans. He never hit below 321, and he finished as high as batting 342 for the Lopers. David Pratt, a 1977 graduate. And from the volleyball court, Kola Svek. Now Kola Henderson, she's a setter, and she's going into the Hall of Fame. Let me pull up her information if I can find it. Kola Svek Henderson, one of just 12 Loper volleyball players to be a 2-time All-American, second-team pick in 2010, honorable mention in 2008, a 4-year starter at setter. She helped UNK go 129 and 17. They won 4 conference titles and twice reached the Sweet 16. That is a deserving group of Loper Hall of Famers.
Yeah, there's some big names there with some unbelievable statistics.
And they're going into the UNK Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all of them. It's a 6-point game at half. When we return at halftime, we'll run through the homecoming royalty and tell you about some scores from around the MIAA. That's ahead of the third quarter kickoff between the Gorillas and Lopers on News Channel Nebraska.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice and check out these great fall offers. A 2024 Ford F-250 starting at only $47,999, or choose 1.9% financing with approved credit. Check out ZollnerFordBeatrice.com for our $399 a month lease specials on many models in stock. Check out the 2024 full-size hardtop Broncos starting as low as $39,999. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Hey sports fans, heading to the big game tonight? Make sure you stop by Speedy Mart before you hit the stadium. Fuel up your car and grab your favorite snacks and drinks to keep your energy high. Whether it's chips, soda, or a quick meal, Speedy Mart has everything you need to kick off your game night right. Don't miss out. Swing by Speedy Mart for all your pre-game essentials.
Speedy Mart, snacks before the game.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
It's Jeep Adventure Days at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Browse our full lineup of new Jeeps like the capable and confident Jeep Compass. And take advantage of our current offers going on right now. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations in Blair or Bellevue today. Serving our customers since 1991. Woodhouse is your trusted Jeep dealer.
This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. Central Nebraska Orthopedics, dedicated to the motion of life. And by Midway Auto. For your next vehicle, go to thinkmidway.com. The halftime show is proudly presented by Visit Kearney. Find it all in Kearney.
everything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
Halftime here on News Channel Nebraska. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you. It is homecoming. How about those homecoming royalty candidates? 8 finalists announced Monday during a pep rally on campus. The Queen candidates: Courtney Cox of Alliance, Olivia Lawless of Aurora, Sydney Owen of Kearney, and Lily Seibert of Kearney. The King candidates: Lance Haberman of Utica, Joey Orellano of Cozad, Sean Peterson of St. Martin, and Caleb Wiseman of Plattsmouth. The homecoming king is Caleb Wiseman of Plattsmouth. The homecoming queen is Courtney Cox of Alliance. Cox is a senior studying business administration, emphases in finance and accounting. She's a resident assistant, chancellor's ambassador, new student enrollment leader, honors program member, also part of the Future Business Leaders of America and the UNK Wind Ensemble. Wiseman, a junior, studying math education, involved in Loper Catholic, the honors program, UNK student government, campus intramurals, also a residence assistant and a tutor. He was named a new student enrollment leader last summer. Congratulations to them. All right, not the only game going on in the MIAA. Some interesting scores, Scott. How about Central Missouri and Missouri Western? It's 31-21, Missouri Western ahead with 11 minutes left.
You know, it's just mind-boggling, this conference. Central Missouri was picked to win it. They were ranked number 2 in the country. University of Central Oklahoma knocked them off. We had a chance to beat them. Last week they got beat, and now they're ready to get beat again.
Missouri Southern, bottom of the conference, 1-5, but no game is easy in the MIAA. They're giving Emporia State, who's 5-1 in the top 25, all they can handle. It's 42-30 with 2:10 left. Emporia has the ball. It appears the Hornets going to get that victory. Central Oklahoma will remain undefeated with under 2 to go. UCO has a 48-20 lead over Northwest Missouri State. Impressive showing by the Broncos. And no score. This is a night game. It's Washburn hosting, or actually it's Hayes. It's Fort Hays State hosting Washburn tonight at 7 p.m. A full 25 minutes of halftime for you right there. Now we settle back in for an exciting 30 minutes of second half football. The Lopers will take it from the 6 with Jadarius Thomas. Breaks the first tackle but can't find space back to the 20. He's down at the 17, and out comes the Loper offense. UNK ran 25 plays in the first half. That's not going to get it done. No. They managed just 79 yards. They're set up and have to go more than that to find the end zone this drive.
Yeah, that was excellent kick coverage by the Gorillas there. And so UNK doesn't have great field position. But as I mentioned to you earlier, if I'm UNK's coaches, I'm telling my players, hey, we took their best shot, and we're still in this thing.
Tamikis Napier, patient rush on first down. Gets 3 to set up second down and 7. Through the air, Jones in the first half, 5 for 14 for 41 yards, a touchdown, an interception, and a sack.
Realistically, UNK has not run the ball all that poorly. And in my opinion, I think they need to stick to the ground game a little bit more occasionally.
Third target for Reggie Anderson, first catch, and this one goes for a first down. The Lopers go to tempo a bit, trying to move fast ahead of that second down snap.
And I think that's good. You've got to make because Pittsburgh's defense moves around so much, I think by going some up-tempo, it kind of keeps them in place.
Zane Schwung is in the slot, the backup running back for the Lopers. Napier remains behind Jones, and now Schwung will join him. Wide snap, and I'm not sure they had the same play call. Jones loses a yard, and the Lopers have a negative play. That's what it wasn't that they couldn't move the football, it's that they kept moving backwards before they were moving it forward.
Yeah, they tend to make some mental errors, and just like that play right there. I mean, I'm not sure whether Mike or Zane was supposed to get the ball, but I think there was some miscommunication there.
And I don't think the wide snap helped either. Lopers are down Ikani Tuiono along the offensive line because of a first-half injury. Play action. Jones throws over the middle, lots of contact. Oh, it was the official. The umpire went down, and Reggie, that was Reggie Anderson.
Right.
And he got obstructed by the umpire.
That's just one of those deals, you know. So, I mean, he's part of the field, and so you have to be aware where he's at.
3rd down and 12 for the Lopers. Yeah, plowed right into him. Good job. I think there might have been a fingertip on that football as well.
Right.
By the Gorillas' defensive line. Pitt State brings 5, and it's swatted down. Nobody got a body on Malik Berry, the 6'4" senior defensive end. An easy path to the quarterback and a pass breakup. The Lopers get a first down, and a backwards play on first down sets them off, and nothing after that.
That's kind of been the story of the day so far. They get a first down, and then they're not able to complete the drive.
It's the negative plays, whether it's penalties, sacks, or miscommunications.
Yeah.
Loper's going to put some pressure on their defense. And again, it hasn't hurt them all year. But you figure 50 first-half snaps will eventually add up. They got the snap off there, but it's a false start.
And I believe Jamone might have jumped down here.
It was Jameer Jones, the gunner on the right side.
Yeah, okay.
So Jones sets the Lopers back 5 yards. They'll punt it away from the 19. Ryan Medeiros has not been a guy that's been fair catching it today. He's been trying to make plays. Lopers have contained him in the punt and return game to this point. Really good first half punting the football, 4 punts, an average of 49 yards per boot. Juggled the snap, and because of that, had a little bit extra time. So that helps lead to a fair catch that go round.
Again, Marty Mormino, he's been a weapon for the Lopers today.
So here comes the Pitt State offense, and we've focused here on the UNK perspective, but if you're Pitt State, you've moved the football plenty.
Right.
But once it's got into Loper territory, they've really had struggles getting a big play. They've had to settle for 4 field goal tries and only hit 2 of them.
Right. I mean, so, you know, that's a good thing for UNK, but if you're Pittsburg State, you're probably a little bit frustrated.
Another 3-player shift. David Lilly comes in on a blitz and gets to the running back in the backfield. Q Felton in the area as well, and Noah Hernandez tackled for a loss. It's 2nd and 12. Look at David Lilly get in there.
That young man just makes plays. He just seems to be around. He and Zane Schwang just seem to be 2 players that are always making something happen.
Anthony Hebert was also in the backfield. Handoff, and Matina and company. Felton there, Caleb Freeland. The whole defensive line bottling up Hernandez, no gain, 3rd down and 11. There is Matina on your screen, all 385 of the big fella.
So this has kind of been UNK's nemesis all day today, long 3rd-yard situations. Hopefully they can get off the field and get good field position here.
Javon Marsh comes in to play the slot receiver in coverage. Stephon Talone also on a slot receiver. Handoff and some room for
Just missed a
Hernandez.
tackle.
Breaks a couple of tackles. Where's he spotted? On 3rd and 11, a handoff gets 11 yards. And the Gorillas, when UNK's defense needs a breather, they can't get one. Nobody thought a handoff was coming there.
Right. That's a good job by Pitt's offensive coordinator. You know, UNK substituted a bunch of the big players for speed rush type guys, so they weren't as big up inside. And, you know, he was able to break a couple tackles and get the first down.
Great run by Hernandez, one of his best of the day. Off-balance catch by Christian Carter. Gets a couple of yards before he is tripped up. Just 1 yard, 2nd and 9. Well, it felt like there were more third down conversions than there were in the first half. 4 for 11 for Pitt. They did get a 4th down conversion.
True.
Which adds on to that, but 3 of those third down conversions came in the touchdown drive.
Right. And, you know, you're right. It did seem like there was it seemed like every time they had a third down, they converted, but I guess that wasn't the case.
2nd and 9, handoff. And again, the Lopers are there. Freeland from the defensive tackle position. Oh, pardon me. Oh, that was Chris Valdez, 6'2", 310-pounder out of the New Mexico Military Institute. I believe he's the last of the big crop of New Mexico military transfers.
Right. And, of course, Coach Lynn's staff had pretty good connections down there, so they did bring in quite a few of those players.
Valdez has been a solid Loper. 3rd down and 8. Dodson to pass in the pocket, deep down the right side towards Roberts, and the Lopers are there. Defense by Kendall Brewer. The senior from Kansas City comes up big with the pass breakup.
Kendall Brewer had probably one of the most solid seasons of any of the UNK players this year.
Step for step with Roberts, the top target for the Gorillas. Zane Schwang will be the return man. Wobbly kick, Schwang. Fair catches at the 11. And we're 5 minutes in now here in your 3rd quarter. Your 3rd quarter is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of pain, not just the symptoms. I'm Michael Shively. Scott Hoffman is with me. We talk about the offensive coordinator for Pittsburg State. We liked that run call, but he has to be disappointed with his offense in the red zone. That offensive coordinator is Kevin Blyle. His first season in that position for Pitt State. He was previously the wide receivers coach at Stephen F. Austin. Before that, he was co-offensive coordinator at Nebraska Kearney from 2015 to 2018.
Yeah, Kevin's been around a little bit. His dad is also the offensive line coach for Pittsburg State, and Bill has been around a lot. It's kind of neat that Kevin and Bill are able to coach together as a father-son tandem, but Kevin's a heck of a good football coach, and I'm sure in the big picture he's doing a great job for the Gorillas.
You know, looking at that tenure, 2015 to 2018, that means Blyle would have started with Lamberson and stayed on for Lynn. So, so Coach Josh Lynn saw enough on him to keep him around. Sometimes you see entire coaching staff shifts, like when Coach Held started. But Kevin Blyle did stick around for 2 coaches.
Yeah, Coach Lynn kept 3 of the members of Coach Lamberson staff, and they were excellent football coaches.
That included Kevin Blyle, now the offensive coordinator at Pitt State. His dad, Bill, the offensive line coach. His brother, Tim, still at Stephen F. Austin. All 3 of the Blyles were at Stephen F. Austin last season. Family affair down there in Texas. Big drive for the Lopers. Down 6. Jones throws it away. Now he had Tavis Malloy, the 6'6", 200-pound field goal blocking specialist. Penalty flag comes out. Didn't see where that got thrown. Far sideline.
I'm not so sure that Tavis shouldn't have released outside. He tried to go inside, and the ball was thrown down between the numbers and the hash, or the numbers and the sideline. I think Tavis might have taken the wrong release.
And the Lopers look frustrated. This might be on the offense.
Dajmon Wheeler.
He wearing number 10 today?
No, I think that's Ernest.
It's Ernest McDaniel Mitchell. They might have called the wrong number because Ernest McDaniel Mitchell was frustrated there and he had to run off to the sideline. Wheeler is also in the game, but one of them costing the Lopers a familiar feeling for UNK. Penalty putting them behind the chains, and history repeating itself to start the third quarter.
Just have to clean that up. We've said it every week, but it just continues to be a problem.
Play action, tough pass, good grab by Tavis. He loses the football. It's ripped away by Pittsburg State, and they return it for a touchdown. The Gorillas showing off their strength. Ripping the football away was Antoine Nunn Jr., a redshirt senior from Kansas City, with the play of the game.
That was a good play by that young man. I thought Tavis had the ball when he came down.
That is the ruling on the field. And I don't think the Lopers are challenging. So we're going to play on.
It's hard to tell. It looked almost like Tavis might have put the ball on the ground as a fumble.
And there's a whistle.
I think Coach Hell's going to challenge it. It looked to me like Tavis might not have had control of the football.
Challenge comes in. All right, there is the challenge. So the Lopers putting it on the line early in this second half.
Yeah, if his knee hit when he still had control of the football, then that should be a dead ball right there. It shouldn't be a live football and if he didn't have control when his knee hit, then it should have been an incomplete pass, in my opinion.
See if we can get another look at that. And a reminder, these are not the views. Yeah, so we don't have the same views they're looking at. Okay, this ref, inconvenient. Okay, Tavis,
there's
knee
the knee
down.
on the ground.
Where's the football? Tough to say.
Yeah.
But they'll have a similar look with no ref obstruction because the UNK camera is set up to the east of our camera. So they will be less obstructed. I don't know if that camera shot was right on the football or not, but they'll have a good look at this on the review from that same exact angle.
And again, just in my opinion, it looked like either he was down or didn't have control of the football. And it could, if it was on his body, then essentially it's still a live ball, so it could be ruled as a fumble and recovery, I guess.
I didn't see the football hit the ground.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Just did he have possession with the knee on the ground or not?
Yeah.
That's what they're looking at in the tents. We've had one challenge already. It was Pittsburg State who did it, and they got it reversed on a batted football that was then picked up by the Loper defense and returned for a touchdown. That was overturned, and it was tough to dispute that call on the overturned. It was close. There's no doubt about it.
Right.
But likely that looked like the right decision based on our angle, which is not straight on, but decent look. This one, they're going to be using a very similar look. It doesn't matter, and that's the angle. You're going to want that end zone camera, not the top camera for it. You don't need the side-to-side view. You just need to see if his knee's down with the possession of the football. Here's that top cam. Good job going up to get it.
I see at that point in time his knee's down, but where's the football? And it almost looks like 22 had the ball in his hands when Tavis
He
went
was
down.
ripping at the football before he was down. Did the football come out right away, or was it delayed? We're going to find out here in a second. Referee emerges. Ho-ho! Tavis had a knee down. So the Lopers on their fancy new scoreboard get to delete some points off of it.
Well, both coaches have used challenges and it both worked out for them, so I guess that's why you do it. Here's a pretty good look at it right here.
Knee
See, I
down.
think the knee's down.
We can't see the football,
No.
obviously, from that side, but I think that's that end zone camera angle. There he gets it, and he clearly was down before.
Right.
So about a 2-yard gain after all that. 3rd and 11. Lopers still down just 6 after all of this. Jones rolls out of the pocket, throws downfield, and caught. Terrific grab by UNK's Ernest McDaniel Mitchell, the 5'8" junior, showing off his vertical leap and getting his feet down along the left sideline.
Once again, good job by Reagan Jones getting out of the pocket but keeping his eyes downfield, and a good job by Ernest just finding an open spot. That's a big play for UNK, well needed.
Really good job getting that foot down. 29-yard pickup on 3rd and 11. The Lopers desperately needed that. Can they continue their momentum? Jones fakes to Harris. Throws to Harris, has the ball and running room, has the first down into Gorillas territory to the 41-yard line. A 20-yard pickup on the swing pass.
This is exactly what UNK needs to do, though. They just need to make some plays and keep driving the ball down the field.
In a hurry, they give it to Harris. Harris plunges forward for 3. We'll give him 4. 2nd down and 6.
At the very least, you flip the field. So even if you aren't able to score, you're putting Pitt back with their back against the end zone.
And giving the defense a much-needed breather. The Lopers offense ran half as many plays as the Gorillas offense in the first half. The time of possession, similar. A touchdown, an extra point. Despite all of that, would put this Loper team in front against a top 10 opponent. 7 seconds to snap. Harris motions to return to the backfield. Blitz comes. Jones in trouble and throws it away. Good late pressure applied by the Gorillas defense. That was Jack Barkley, senior from Tulsa.
Well, 3rd down here.
3rd and 7 for the Lopers. Malloy comes back in the game, that tall target. Wheeler, the dynamic freshman, on the right side. And Schwong, the pass-catching back in the backfield.
It looks like Pitt is almost doing the same thing that UNK did. They brought in their pass rush specialists.
What's the call on 3rd and 7? 4-man rush for the Gorillas. Jones throws, the receiver falls down, and a penalty flag comes out. Shane Daly Jr. wound up face down on the turf. And Jones is down in the backfield for the Lopers, and a penalty flag sits next to him as well.
Probably roughing the passer there, and a pass interference there, so we should have pretty good field position if I'm UNK.
But right now, the attention of Ryan Held and company on their starting quarterback. Graduate transfer Reagan Jones, previous starter at Missouri Western. He has been steady. 10-7 over his career as a starter. Brought much needed comfortability to this Loper offense, stability. He gets up in a hurry, but won't be in for the next snap. We'll see Abram Schulting, the redshirt freshman from Pierce, Nebraska. Got the start, played all of the previous game against Southwest Minnesota State, and boy, did he look good.
Yeah, he did. And you know, that experience last week is just so valuable to have that live game experience in a clutch situation.
Referees sorting out 2 penalty flags. Zach Kanan, the junior linebacker with 19 tackles on the season out of Cassville, Missouri, called for targeting. The pass interference was declined. We'll get a look at that PI call here. It went against Jalen Fuchsa. And just some contact that led to him falling down.
Right.
So that was Daly on the route. But it's the roughing the passer call. Let's get the look here. This is targeting, actually. It was not helmet to helmet.
No, but he did. It looked like he did lead with the crown of his helmet, which I believe it's got to be up around the shoulder and the neck area. But
they did not say roughing the passer with targeting. They just said targeting.
Right.
That's being reviewed right now. So if the targeting is overturned, then the Lopers would accept the pass interference call, and it would be the same effect.
Right.
But if it's not overturned, that means Zach Kanan is out of the game. Junior starting linebacker, that's a big-time player for the Pitt State defense.
Right.
And regardless of the situation, even though there's been this delay, Jones will not be in for this next snap. It will be Abram Schulten.
Both teams were ready to play, and the referees still in the tent.
Yeah, they're still looking at this.
I guess that's good. You want your kids ready to go.
So I'm searching on the sideline. I don't see Jones, so I think that means that he will be ready to return. Yep, there he is, Reagan. Reagan appears like he'll be able to go back in the game after one snap. David Lilly is getting looked at on the sideline for the Lopers, the Bishop Newman High School product from Wahoo, starting linebacker, one of the best players on the team. Hope he's good to go. He's standing in full pads, but still was getting inspected. The referees still inside. Might as well take a look at the MIAA scoreboard. Been checking in on that Central Missouri game. It's tight, one-score game. Missouri Western 30. Oh, no, it's a 38-28 now. So 38-28 still the score. So a 2-possession lead with 2:47 to go for the Griffins of Missouri Western. A 2-4 club about to send Central Mo to 3-3, something nobody expected for a team picked second in the country in the preseason.
And Missouri Western, I mean, just goes to show you, you know, this league. They've had a couple of injuries, but obviously that's a good football team.
Final score from Emporia, nope, actually from Joplin. Emporia State 49, Missouri Southern 30. So Emporia improves to 6-1. And it's final from Edmond, Central Oklahoma 48, Northwest Missouri State 20. Emphatic win for the Broncos in the driver's seat in the conference. Targeting is wiped off. It did not look helmet to helmet, so Zach Kanan, in addition to some other factors likely considered, Kanan not guilty of targeting, but the pass interference still enforced for 15 yards and a Loper first down. Here is Abram Schulting, backup quarterback, 2-time state champion Pierce Blue Jay out of Northeast Nebraska, with Jadarius Thomas to his left. Low snap, Schulting gets the pass off, and it was altered by Alex Gaskill. Terrific penetration by the Gorillas defense. And Jones returns to the field. They weren't messing around with Schulting, went with an RPO.
Right, yeah, I was usually when you got a backup come in, you hand the ball off. So it might have been what Coach Ellis was thinking. They're thinking we're going to hand it off, so let's run an RPO.
And both the handoff and the pass were not available. Schulting did a good job getting rid of it. 2nd and 10. Thomas picks up the blitz. Jones throws to the end zone and out. There were more Gorillas than Lopers in that corner. And 3rd and 10.
Well, even if you don't come away with points here, I mean, and you hope you do, but you've done a couple things. You've flipped the field and you've given the defense a little bit of a breather. So, hopefully that pays off here.
Trey Pritchard is the kicker. He's 2 for 3 with a long of 39. This would be roughly a 40-yarder from here. Fifita in the game at tight end. And a false start penalty likely here on Brennan. And
Brennan, yeah,
the Lopers in a place where they cannot afford a penalty commit one, which makes it 3rd and 15 and pushes them even further in terms of field goal range. Right tackle, watch the right tackle. Yep.
Just got a false start.
It's penalties that have just been killer at points this season for the Lopers. They've overcome it more often than not.
Right.
But it's been a consistent problem. Stacked wide receivers either side for Jones on 3rd and 15. 4-man rush for Pitt State. Jones running out of time and gets it back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe. I don't think there's anyone in the area, though. Was he still in the tackle box?
I believe he was still in the box. I thought that Dajman might have been
Wheeler might have been there, number 1.
There could be a flag coming here.
Haven't seen it yet. Oh, there it is. Oh, you felt it be coming. Definitely in the tackle box. So the Lopers in field goal range at 3rd and 10 have a false start penalty and intentional grounding. And here comes the punt unit. Terrific blitz pickup by Jadarius, but Brennan got beat at the right tackle spot, and you have nobody in the area. Promising drive. The Lopers playing the field position game midway through the 3rd quarter. Good snap. Fair catch signaled for. It's dropped. It's picked up by the Lopers. And it won't be a touchdown. It will be a dead ball. Jameer Jones picked it up at the 9. That's where the Lopers will get the football after the muffed punt by Ryan Medeiros.
Good heads-up play by Jameer. And obviously, the first instinct is to run that into the end zone, but it is a muff, and so it's not advanceable. But good job. Another great punt, end over end.
Right into the arms.
Right.
Jameer says, put me in on offense. I need a snap here to get a TD. Oh, the fans were loving it. They'll always have that moment. The 10 seconds where they thought it was a touchdown. But what a turn of events for the Lopers. A disastrous end to the offensive possession, bailed out by a special teams miscue from the Gorillas. Can UNK take advantage and tie the game with a touchdown? Jones keeps and slides. In the process, he was hit by Jordan Rogers. No penalty, no gain, 2nd and goal. He did get a yard, They'll snap it from the 8. The Gorillas' defense has tightened up on their side of the field. Jones in trouble, steps up, goes down. A sack for Pitt State and Malik Berry. The 6'4" defensive end keeps fighting with Jones stepping up in the pocket and puts him to the turf. It's 3rd and goal from the 11. Ball has not left the quarterback's hand this series. Confusion on the far sideline between the wide receivers. Now they get settled.
UNK's been struggling a little bit with the edge rushers that Pittsburgh's got.
Into double coverage, looking for Wheeler. It's incomplete. The Lopers will send out the field goal unit. After the muffed punt, they can't get in the end zone, but can they still get some points? Trey Pritchard will try to make that happen. Again, 2 for 3, his lone miss coming from greater than 40 yards. This will be a 29-yard try from the right hash with the wind blowing at his back slightly. Mormino's hold down, Pritchard's kick is up and good. So the Lopers get 3 points out of the muffed punt to cut it to a 3-point game. We have a tight one between the Gorillas and the Lopers with 5:29 to go in the 3rd quarter on the Aurora Cooperative scoreboard.
New home on the horizon? Loan it to own it. Need a new car to keep you moving? Loan it to own it. Looking for a new adventure? Loan it to own it with Liberty First Credit Union. Liberty First Credit Union is there for every step of your journey. Anyone can join to receive low payments and fixed rates to help get you through every new milestone. When you're ready to own it, loan it through Liberty First Credit Union.
This broadcast is brought to you by Stonebrook Exterior. Schedule a free estimate or learn more at stonebrookexterior.com. And by Yellow Van Cleaning and Restoration. Visit us at yellowvan.com to schedule an appointment or learn more.
At the racetrack or the rat race round town, fuel matters. Here, customers can expect the highest quality fuel that they deserve.
All right, folks, get settled into the recliner. We got a lot of football left, 1.5 quarters, and it's a 3-point ball game. UNK trying to pull off an upset against a top 10 foe. Kyle failing to kick it off. Good end-over-end kick into the end zone for a touchback. The wind has picked up slightly, and it's coming out of the north, straight away from the north. So left to right as we see it here. Likely not a factor in the game except for the kicking game. Could be a benefit if you're kicking with the wind at your back.
Right.
Lopers, Trey Pritchard put one through from 29. David Lilly, the star linebacker for the Lopers, was getting worked on during that offensive possession, testing out his legs. He seems good to go, and he's on the field for this snap. Chad Dodson Jr., the 3-year starting quarterback for Pitt State, is throwing on first down. Lots of room on the boundary on the right side. Good tackle made by Hebert on Jack Roberts after he managed 7 yards.
Little sprint out pass by Pittsburg State that, changes the launch point for the quarterback, so it's harder on the D-line to figure out where he's coming from. But you got an 8-yard gain on first down.
Dodson just over 50% completion percentage this afternoon. and has that one complete. Stumbling after the catch, Kieran Parchman. He's been the top target today.
Yeah.
That's his 4th catch. Well, I guess Carter does have 6, so correct myself there, but Parchman has the touchdown and now 4 total grabs.
Good distribution by Pitt State.
And they're into Loper territory after just 2 snaps. Handoff. And Chandler doesn't have any room. 3 UNK defenders, including Parker Wise, Caleb, or make that James Murphy, pardon me.
Right.
6'2" defensive tackle out of California. Guy that's really been playing more in the middle part of the season. Got a yard out of that. 2nd and 9. Dodson, so experienced, full license to change coverages and change the play call. Tosses it to the right, and the Lopers are right there. Jameer Jones gets into the backfield and puts Chandler to the turf for a loss of 4.
Yeah, the last 2 times Pitt has gotten into that unbalanced formation, it just hasn't delivered anything. UNK stopped them for losses. Another big 3rd down here.
Gorillas are 5 for 13. They've had some back-breaking conversions, but this is 3rd and 13. A weary Lopers crowd already 2.5 hours into this hot game, on their feet trying to support their squad. With 2 seconds to snap it, Dodson gets the ball, steps in the pocket, throws, caught short of the 1st down marker, but just by a couple yards. Jones on the tackle, flexes his muscle afterwards. It was Christian Carter with his 7th grab. He gets 11 yards. It's 4th and 2, and the offense is still on the field. For now.
Here comes their short yardage Wildcat, so kind of figured that would be the situation. They're probably going for it. Oh, no, they do have the punter in. I'm sorry.
So the punter comes out.
Kind of surprised by that.
Same.
Defenses, their defense is playing well, so maybe that's the mindset.
Casey Rauchuk. High end over end, Schwong, fair catches at the 11. So Pitt State with a 29-yard punt pins the Lopers deep. They're going to take it actually at the 12. 2:10 to go, 3rd quarter on the Currency scoreboard, and another opportunity, the 3rd chance. Make that 4 chances this half with the football down fewer than 7 points.
Yeah, UNK's really kind of owned the possession here in the 3rd quarter. Just, haven't been able to come away with a big score.
They've had chances to take the lead with a touchdown and point after. They've had a couple drives come up empty, and one end in a field goal. Jones fumbles the snap, Schwong falls on it. It was about ankle height. So correct me if I'm wrong here, Scott, but I believe Ikani Tuiono was the center to start the year, hurt his hand.
Right.
It was Dawson Fox for a bit. Carter Klein is now the snapper. He's a redshirt freshman from Pleasanton in northern Buffalo County.
Yeah, they made that switch a couple weeks ago, and it's worked out pretty well, but that was a poor snap right there. And still, Reagan's got to field that ball.
Lost 3 yards, and the Lopers operating behind the sticks. Just 2 wide receivers in this formation. Jones steps up, keeps it alive, and gets rid of it. Good play by Jones just to avoid a loss. 3rd and 13.
So I noticed Shane Brennan has moved over to the left tackle. Cooper Reese is on the sideline. Of course, he's fought injury after injury for the last couple of years, so hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Jordan Allen now is the right tackle, so Brennan moves to left tackle. They just swapped their sides. Cooper Reese missed last week with injury, and was getting inspected on the sideline. Right now, he's standing with his helmet off, an all-conference performer 3 seasons ago. Jones on 3rd and 13. Puts it on the hands of Wheeler, but he's not able to haul it in along the right sideline. UNK loses 3 yards, and Pitt State rewarded for the punt decision.
Yeah, I mean, you start out, you know, first and 10 and immediately have a poor snap, so you're 2nd and 13, and it's just been one thing right after another in terms of self-destruction for UNK.
Well, they haven't tried too many handoffs. That might have been that play call on 1st down there, but really haven't tried too many runs.
No.
Here's Mormino, spiraling kick, shorter, taken from the 49, and Medeiros has some room. Ryan Medeiros hesitates, still accelerates along the sideline, and gets inside of the 30. And Pitt State will have excellent field position to start this possession, up 3 points.
Well, Medeiros, after he fumbled that last punt, he did a good job of making the catch and making something happen.
The Gorillas have it at the 25, and they have momentum, it feels like, even though the Lopers are +3 in the scoreboard here this 3rd quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like they've put our defense on our heels the whole day, mostly because of field position.
Lopers have been hunting a turnover. Can they get a big one here? They bring pressure. It's picked up. Dodson throws towards the end zone.
Oh, nice
it's
catch.
disputed and hauled in. What a catch by Curon Parchman, his 2nd touchdown grab of the season, and this one is over the top of the defense. Can't wait to see this one again.
I think Jameer had pretty good field position there.
I believe it was Keon Washington.
I'm sorry, Keon Washington. He had good position, just a good catch.
It was an excellent play.
Yeah. Great catch by.
Yeah, Washington might have got turned around just a little bit there. 5'10". Better play by the wideout.
Yeah.
Touchdown Pitt State, penalty flag as the kick is good. Pitt State doesn't waste any time taking advantage of the field position. 25-yard strike. Dodson hooks up with Parchman. This penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. The special teams unit's already to their own sidelines. See which side is guilty. Oh, correct myself. We'll get another look at the holding as the special teams units head back out onto the field. The left side.
Oh my, yes.
Really good push down low, and if anything, it at least gave the appearance of a hold. So 10 yards back, that football placed at the 13. This is no longer automatic. 30-yard try after that penalty. Hayden Kazicki. Has distance, and it was right on the mark. He missed one wide left from that spot earlier, and now into the wind, hits it from 30 for the point after to make it a 10-point cushion for Pittsburg State over UNK on News Channel Nebraska.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice and check out these great fall offers. A 2024 Ford F-250 starting at only $47,999, or choose 1.9% financing with approved credit. Check out ZollnerFordBeatrice.com for our $399 a month lease specials on many models in stock. Check out the 2024 full-size hardtop Broncos starting as low as $39,999. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Lopers trail by 10 again after the Chad Dodson to Kieran Parchman touchdown. Fair catch called. The Lopers will get it with just under a minute to go in the third quarter, needing to show some signs of life on offense. They've run 20 plays this quarter, has the UNK offense, and they've managed 46 yards.
Now, they've had a little bit of field position that's helped them out a little bit, but they just haven't been able to click offensively today.
Credit to the Pitt State defense. This is a good unit, allowing just 19 points a game, 332 yards per game, but UNK not even close to on pace for that. They have just 121 yards of offense. Still, only down 10 points with time to go in the third quarter. Here's Jones on a read option, an excellent closing speed by the defense. There was Medeiros, the strong safety. He's a good player, the Texas native with the stop.
Yeah, if there's one thing that Pittsburgh has probably an advantage over UNK is their team speed is really good. UNK has pretty good team speed, but Pitt's is outstanding.
This is not the flashiest team, the Gorillas.
No, very solid.
They don't make too many mistakes. Here's Jones on 2nd and 8, facing pressure, and he goes down. Another Pitt State sack. And a celebration for Jack Barkley in Loper territory, looking at the student section. And that's the final play of the third quarter. A deficit of about 10 yards. The Gorillas feeling good, but the Lopers still in it. The final 15 minutes of the contest coming up on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USafe Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
All right, some happy Loper fans. Well, they didn't get the memo that Pitt State wears red, but
yeah, apparently not.
They're wearing Nebraska gear, so we know they're Loper fans.
Right.
And really good attendance. I wasn't paying attention. I missed it. We'll see if we can get the attendance for you at some point.
Oh,
but this is by far the best attendance of the season.
Right.
Great effort by Loper fans, getting treated to a competitive game. Certainly a long game, but hey, it's gorgeous. Enjoy this fall weather.
I think the attendance was around 4,360, something like that. So,
really good effort on homecoming. Glad to welcome back all the former Lopers here to Cope Stadium. down 10 points. They need to find some offense. 3rd and 19. Jones is going to try to run for it. He gets to the 27 or 8. He needed to get to the 35. But Jones does get quite a bit back. Here comes the punt unit. Be 4th down and about 7. Medeiros is deep. Do you think about a fake at some point, Scott? They tried one last week.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
You know, I always tend to err on the side of caution as a coach, but, you know, at some point in time, might not be a bad idea.
At your own 28. So
right.
Might have been, no penalty flag. Thought there could have been an offsides. This one doesn't have the distance. A high kick plus the Lopers bang into the
Two of the Pittsburgh players ran into each other.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. And Medeiros is in trouble after that.
Yeah, I think he's not feeling too good. I think he ran into. He's got his helmet off. That's unfortunate. He ran right into his own player.
Yeah, good collision with his own guy.
Yeah, he's not
I think that was Carson Otworth, the strong safety, who ran into him. But it will be Pittsburg State football at the 28-yard line. They're up 10. That's where we'll. Oh, he's getting up. We'll stay here. We've been talking some about Chad Dodson, the senior quarterback for the Gorillas. Told you about his accomplishments over a few seasons, but the Jacksonville native is 2nd in Pitt State history for career passing yards and career touchdown passes. He came into today with nearly 7,600 passing yards and 64 touchdowns, and he's only added to that. If you're 2nd in the career charts in anything at Pitt State, you're an all-time great.
Yeah, that's true. They've had some great players at their history.
An all-time great in the conference, not just at that institution. Kieran Parchment having his best game of the year. Another grab. He has 2 touchdowns, both touchdowns for Pitt State. This one goes for 9. Pitt State, 63 plays. UNK, 48. They've cut that gap, but it was a sizable difference at halftime, 50 to 25. End around, and Carter has some space and has the wheels to go with it.
You know, Pittsburg State's offense, they do a nice job of just having some variety that keeps the defense really honest. That was a good call right there.
They like to run the wide receivers. Hadn't seen it yet today. That's the 6th carry on the year for Carter, about 1 per game. Now a handoff, traditional look to Noah Hernandez, and he manages just a couple yards. 2nd down and 8. This is your 4th quarter, brought to you by Visit Lincoln. See and experience all that Lincoln has to offer. Discover more at lincoln.org. Both teams with all 3 timeouts. But if you're the Lopers, you're starting to glance at the clock a little bit more often. Down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. Dodson throws, caught into Loper territory. That's a 1st down. David Lilly makes the tackle on Jack Roberts. He gets maybe 12 to move the chains.
One thing Pittsburg State does a great job of is short timing routes that Dodson gets the ball out quick. He's accurate with the ball, and it just allows them to just keep driving the ball short, 5-yard gains, and keep 1st downs.
Carter in motion. They direct snap to the back, Chandler, and he had a good hole to exploit. Parker Wise makes the stop after a 7-yard pickup. Really fascinating play design there. Some motion, the direct snap, good execution.
Just another little bit of a variety that something that UNK hasn't seen.
Low snap. Dodson fakes the end around. Pressure comes. He throws incomplete down the right sideline. Now, Scott, one thing I thought the Loper defense was going to be able to do more of is pressure the quarterback.
Yeah, they have.
Missouri Western last week had 5 sacks against Chad Dodson. The Lopers haven't been too close to getting him.
No, they've done a great job against the run, and coverage-wise, they've been okay. But you're right; they're not getting too much pressure with their 4-man front.
Now, this is an experienced Pitt State offense, an experienced Pitt State defense. Veteran crews on both sides. And they're going deep. One-handed grab down at the 1. Jack Roberts showing off why he's an all-conference performer. Whether it's a catch or not, what an athletic effort. If it stands, it's a 32-yarder. Let's check it out. And the football hits the ground. It's an incomplete pass on the field. The referees get it right. And terrific effort is disrupted by Kendall Brewer and the Loper defense.
Now, that was a great play by Kendall, because I thought that young man had made an excellent football catch.
He almost had that. And Jack Roberts, who told you, as good as it gets at wide receiver, nearly had a highlight reel catch. 4th down and 4. The Lopers trying to force a turnover on downs. Dodson to pass, pressure comes, get rid of it, incomplete. Had to unload just a little early. Roberts wasn't yet out of his break, and an incompletion means a turnover on downs. The Lopers defense holds. But right back to Roberts.
Yeah, and a little bit of pressure in his face. Made him kind of rush the throw a little bit, and you'd like to think Roberts would make that catch after the last effort.
Chabet Talong, hadn't seen him on the field too often on defense. He was in on that play, a starter for most of the season, had the coverage on Roberts. But pressure right in the face of Chad Dodson, and an incompletion. Lopers have life, down 10. Looking for an explosive play that's eluded them on offense. That's the tight end Moore motioning to the right. They run it left with Thomas, and he makes a man miss. A penalty flag comes out in the middle of the field, 25 yards away from the play.
That was a good run by Jadarius, and unfortunately it's coming back.
It's a hold on the Lopers. Carter Klein, sophomore from Pleasanton.
And you're right.
That one's a killer.
And the unfortunate part, that's in the middle of the defensive line, and the play's a wide
There
play.
it was on the side of your screen. He absolutely did it.
Yeah.
But again, so far away from the play.
Right. No reason
That defender
for that.
had no chance.
No reason to do it.
1st down and 14. Handoff. No hole. Nowhere to go. And it's 3rd down. Or second down after that penalty. Napier stuffed Sam Holtz, the sophomore defensive end out of Tennessee, with the play. Probably count on one hand the number of Tennessee natives on MIAA rosters.
Right.
Team made up a lot of Missouri, a lot of Texas, decent amount of Kansas.
Smokelahoma.
Not Nebraskans. They are not on the Pitt State roster. Jones backpedaling, tucks, has some space to run down the sideline. But he stepped out before he was pushed out at the 35. So on 2nd and 14, he gets 6 yards to set up 3rd down and 9. See a good look at it here. Oh, yep, there was that left foot.
Yeah, Reagan Jones is really, he's played a decent game. He's been under duress most of the game today, and UNK's offensive line's kind of a patchwork because of some injuries, and it's affecting them.
Cooper Reese has not played in the 4th quarter. Ikani Tuiono is not suited anymore, lost him in the first half. Jones in trouble again, unloads to Schwang. Schwang with trying to make a cut on the inside, cannot escape an excellent open field tackle by Pitt State. That was Derby McReynolds, who's had 2 really nice plays. Just 1 yard on that to Schwang.
Yeah, that was a good play by McReynolds there, because it looked like Zane had a little bit of room to go.
The offense not able to keep the drive alive.
Well, another penalty that ended up costing them, and they can't recover.
Great point. Another boomer from Mormino, and the Lopers track down Medeiros. Good tackle. That's Julian Castillo, the Lincoln product out of Pius, the 10th high school.
Yeah, good job by Julian getting down there and making something happen.
Pitt State will have it at the 20. Michael Shifley, Scott Hoffman with you. If you missed what happened in Loper football world the last couple of weeks, when they've been away from home and we haven't been on the broadcast, they played at number 12 Central Missouri, lost by 1 to the Mules, 36-35. Then went at Southwest Minnesota State, one of the statistically worst programs in Division II this season, and won at 35-0 without their starting quarterback. So the Lopers had a really good showing on the road. Today at home, the defense has played well, the special teams has been there, but really the Gorillas' defense has just been so tough to move the football on.
Yeah, they've done a good job, and right now, we mentioned it during a timeout, UNK has to be pretty one-dimensional. You know, from time to time, they've had some decent runs, but now you're down by 10. You're almost forced to throw it, and pass protection is a little bit of a problem. Pitt's bringing all kinds of different pressures, and it's just been kind of a tough situation.
Here is the Pitt State offense with 8:47 remaining in the 4th on the Currency scoreboard. Lopers bring pressure, and it gets home. Terrific terrific blitz by Anthony Hebert. Didn't get blocked, and the run play went right to him.
Yeah, he was lined up in the nickel position, came right off the edge, and was able to make that play. Once again, Pittsburgh really hasn't run the ball very effectively against UNK. It's just they've made enough 3rd down conversions to really keep drives going, and it's hurt UNK.
2nd and 11. Dodson to throw, rolls out right, has the short toss, it's complete. Hernandez loses the football briefly, but able to gather it back at the 27. That's an 8-yard gain, and it's 3rd down and 3. Meanwhile, on the sideline, Corey Hollick, the assistant offensive line coach, has had his entire unit gathered around him this whole time, and he is firing them up. He hasn't stopped chattering this whole series.
Well, and Corey brings some credibility to the game. He was a great football player for UNK as an offensive tackle and got a little bit of a pro career and knows what he's talking about. So hopefully it'll pay off.
3rd down and 3, and another conversion for Pittsburgh, plus some more. The Gorillas give it to Hernandez, and he moves the sticks with an 8-yard pickup.
Little counter play there that, you know, something that UNK hasn't seen this today, and caught him a little bit off guard.
That's a couple of runs, 2 or 3, maybe 3 runs for first downs on 3rd and medium.
And, you know, again, you hate to make excuses, but I think UNK's defense is probably pretty fatigued.
And they're without Peshek, lost him to injury. Felton nearly got a hand on that football. Brewer makes the tackle, but not before a decent gain along the left sideline. That went to Aiden Koenig, a senior wideout. 9-yard gain.
Just able to keep those first downs going, or now 2nd and short, but takes time off the clock.
No surprise, they look to the sideline after showing tempo, trying to run clock. They'll snap this with under 6 minutes remaining and a 2-score lead. Here's another blitz, and Hebert again gets there. Cannot drag Hernandez back to avoid the first down, but he just gets 1 yard. For Anthony Hebert, that's his 8th tackle. He has 2 tackles for loss tonight. A guy playing just his 3rd game this season.
Yeah, he's showing up for sure, and he's doing a good job. He's made some pretty big plays.
Nearly a half an hour of possession time in this game for Pitt State. Here's Hernandez, straight up the gut, gets 3, 2nd and 7. They're going to stop action for a moment. Look at those Felton, who then ran around in a circle. He's upset because he'll have to take that next play off, but it did stop the clock.
I think he might have taken a little bit of a shot there, and initially it looked like he might have been injured.
Pitt State's offense about to run its 76th play. 332 yards, that's 4.4 yards per play. 25 seconds on the play clock. The Gorillas likely to use most of that. So the yardage total is well below their average still.
Right.
But that play total, oh boy, 75.
They've only had 25 in the second half, though. So,
great point.
You know, they had 50 at halftime.
Low snap, Dodson takes care of it. Loper linebacker comes screeching in, Parker Wise. Hernandez might have lost a yard. It's 3rd down and 7. The Gorillas will snap it with less than 4 minutes to go. Wait, nope, timeout called. There will be some time added back to the clock. The Lopers use their first timeout. They'll talk things over, we'll step aside. Lopers need some big plays to get back into this one on NCN.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil, your first and last stop to and from the game. By USAFE Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers. And by Zollner Ford Lincoln, proud to be your local Ford and Lincoln dealer.
Well, it'll be tough to pick a player of the game today. Pitt State's been really balanced. See if the Lopers get to come back and pick one for us. Here's Dodson on third down, has it complete to Carter, and he makes a move, gets the first down. And on 3rd and 6, it's about an 11 or 12-yard gain, and Pitt State continues to move the football on 3rd down. We'll tell you that our player of the game is brought to you by Nebraska Orthopedic Center.
Coach Blau for Pitt State's just been, he's done a great job today at just dialing up plays to take advantage of what Kearney's giving him. And it's really kept Kearney off balance and allowed Pitt to maintain some drives.
Player of the game also brought to you by USAFE Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of its customers. Chandler gets that give, and Cleo Chandler manages a yard. Timeout, Lopers. Well, folks, there is something new here at the stadium. We'll show it to you in a second. The new video board. So if you've been wondering, you've been waiting, you've been hoping, is that video board ever going to exist? There it is, as vivid as can be. You are looking at it right now through the screen behind the uprights, so that might affect the quality just a little bit, but that is a good-looking video board. There's been nothing over there in terms of video for 2.5 years. There's been a scoreboard, the old-fashioned light-up scoreboard that shows your vital numbers. Now, there's a full-blown video board. Here are the specs on this Daktronics board. 50 feet wide, 24 feet tall, 55 LED panels. It's looking good. Jeff Babel, he is the video coordinator here at UNK, has put in some serious hours. They weren't sure this morning if this video board was gonna work. They got it in a week and a half ago, worked hard assembling it, getting everything hooked up to the press box, and it's working today. A huge addition to the environment here at Cope Stadium. Much needed, much appreciated for the hustle of that athletic department, staff members to get this ready to go. There's Chandler. Chandler with a pretty solid gain on 2nd and 9, manages 12 to move the sticks.
You can tell that the fatigue is starting to set in for the UNK defense. They've been on the field a whole lot, and Pitt is able to just kind of run the football, which they hadn't been able to do much earlier in the game.
Yeah, that's just the way it goes when you run 80 snaps. Central Oklahoma, a very similar story.
Very similar, yeah.
Chandler again. Oh, look who's out there. Nathan Peshek.
Right.
Left with an apparent right arm injury, and he's bending over in pain after that stop.
Yeah, that seemed like it was.
Folks, stay tuned after the game. We will have our coach's post-game interview brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. I'll be a disappointed Ryan Held unless a miracle is pulled off here. But you know, this Pitt State team, looking at them, and I've said it a couple times, not the flashiest team, they're capable of it. Really nice touchdown grab in the corner. That was Kieran Parchment. And then you saw the near heroic catch by Roberts. But for the most part, this team's just solid all around, full of juniors and seniors. They only start one player who's a sophomore or younger. They don't make critical mistakes. They get you 6 yards at a time. They convert on third down, and eventually Division II opponents break.
Yeah, that's a recipe for championship football. And, you know, two-time defending MIAA champs, and you can see why. They're a disciplined team. They're an old team. Their coaches do a good job. They play hard. They don't make errors, and that's why they're winning.
Still have the 2-minute timeout. The Lopers are out of timeouts. There is Hernandez, and these runs that were maybe 1 or 2 yards are now going for 7 or 8. Right. This sets up third down and 1 from the 19, and that snap will come on the other side of the 2-minute timeout. It is third down, but it's also the 2-minute timeout. UNK backed up into the corner. They need a turnover. They need some magic to come from behind against the Gorillas. You're watching college football on News Channel Nebraska.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures, out-of-this-world shopping, star-studded evenings, and award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
Once in a lifetime event. You miss it, it's gone forever. It's Schaefer's 78th Anniversary Extravaganza.
Maybe a little dramatic, but you get the point. It's Schaefer's 78th anniversary. Our celebration means savings for you on top names throughout our huge TV gallery. Plus, save hundreds on Serta, Beauty Rest, and Sutherland mattress sets, and get free delivery on your qualified purchase. Hurry in for the savings during Schaefer's 78th anniversary event.
Third down and 1 with 2 minutes to go. Dodson keeps it himself. Check correction. That was Luke Nigaman, the redshirt freshman tight end, who really doesn't get in as a tight end. He just plays wildcat quarterback. And he runs up at the middle to convert on yet another third down. Penalty flag on the field.
Things are getting a little chippy, and you hate to see that because, you know,
a little shove down to Parker Wise's head. Nigaman, who's played about 4 snaps today, might have just been called for a personal foul penalty. But they get it on Parker. They're saying Parker continued to hold his leg well after the play. And, you know, at this point, it's moot. That was less egregious than most of the Lopers' personal foul penalties this year.
Really didn't need that.
First and goal for Pitt. Lopers cannot stop the clock. Stick around post-game. Not only do we have the coach interview, we'll have your top plays brought to you by Currency. And there is the kneel-down formation. You know, Dodson has handled some low snaps today. He's done a fine job of it. Good move by the Gorillas here not to look for the end zone.
I would agree.
Not give an accurate picture of this game, that final score. This was a highly competitive game. A game where the Lopers offense just couldn't quite move the football enough against Pitt and get that big explosive play to make this three-point game or tie game, or perhaps you've even taken the lead.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, UNK had chances to take the lead and make this a little bit different game, but, you know, they did play well from time to time, especially defensively.
No doubt.
And, you know, as you mentioned, I think this is if you want to use the term, class move by the Pitt State coaching staff, because they could be trying to put the thing in the end zone, but you're right, it's not indicative of how the game was played.
One more snap here will do it. And Pittsburg State gets a hard-fought road win. The Gorillas come to Kearney and knock off the Lopers 20-10. They do it with time of possession, they do it with snap count, and they do it with disciplined defense. And Pitt State improves to 5-1. Nebraska Kearney drops to 3-3. Lopers play hard, and remember, this is a team that had 3 wins a season ago. At times was outclassed in this league. They were not outclassed massively in terms of talent today. The improvement is apparent, but there's still work to do to compete with a top 10 foe like the Gorillas.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, and we mentioned it before, it's been a meat grinder of a schedule in the conference for UNK. They've played, realistically, the top half of the conference back-to-back. They played UCO, Central Missouri, Northwest Missouri, and Pitt. And, you know, they've been able to hang in there with every one of those teams, beat one of them, had chances to beat the other 2. So, yeah, they can walk off the field. They do have a lot of work to do, and they've got to clean up some penalties and some errors. But there's a lot of season left, and they still have a chance to have a pretty doggone good record at the end of the game, at the end of the season.
They absolutely do. We do have some more broadcasts coming up. They're at Missouri Western next week, but another top 20 opponent comes to town on the 26th of October. We'll be here for that. Emporia State pays a visit to Kearney. But we're not done yet today. I'm going to head down to the field, chat with head coach Ryan Held. Then it's time for your top plays following a Loper loss on News Channel Nebraska.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Speedy Mart. When you have to fuel your journey and feed the crew, whether it's many or a few, Speedy Mart is fresh, ready, super clean, and convenient.
Here, customers can expect the highest quality fuel that they deserve.
And when you make a pit stop, it's gotta be fast. Easy in, easy out. Speedy Mart for the win.
At Woodhouse Ford, we make car buying simple. Whether you're looking for a spacious SUV or a powerful truck, let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you into your next vehicle. Take advantage of current offers going on now. Shop online or in-store at one of our 3 convenient locations in Blair, Omaha, and Plattsmouth. Shop with confidence at Woodhouse Ford.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
For over 40 years, Claybaugh Pharmacy has been your trusted, family-owned, full-service pharmacy. We provide traditional medical options, medical equipment, immunizations, and over-the-counter products. We take pride in going above and beyond to improve the health of our community. And to ensure you have a seamless experience, manage your profile and refills with a touch of the finger from home. Claybaugh Pharmacy in downtown Beatrice, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator. Every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark Implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
Anything for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more. From little feet to little paws, to updates and overhauls. From soft and cozy to durable and resilient. From something that blends in or something that's different. From DIY to custom install, O Street Carpet can help you with it all. Whatever your needs are for the floor, O Street Carpet has it and more.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
At the racetrack or the rat race round town, fuel matters. Here, customers can expect the highest quality fuel that they deserve.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry, cause you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do, just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
More than 80 communities across the state count on Nebraska Public Power District to power their every day. And like a dependable neighbor, we work tirelessly to make our communities a better place to live. From preparing them for economic growth, to partnering in local events, to educating tomorrow's workforce, we are charged with creating community connections that are just as trusted and reliable as the electricity we provide. NPPD, powering our state, empowering our communities.
Welcome back to Kearney. Michael Shively with Ryan Held, head coach for the Lopers. Coach, you just couldn't quite get enough going on offense. What was holding back your unit there?
Yeah, we weren't very good on offense today at all. That wasn't good enough. I mean, you play whatever ranked team they are and you hold them to 20 points, that's got to be good enough. I think we had 8 or 9 penalties on offense, put us behind the sticks. I mean, it felt like every time we were 2nd and 20, 2nd and 18, those type of deals. And you're just not going to be able to beat a team like Pitt doing those. It was very disappointing in our performance offensively.
On the defensive side, still had a lot of positives despite having to play a lot of snaps. Special teams had some moments as well. What did you take away from those parts of the game? Yeah, I mean, we gave up. We knew they were good on special teams. We gave up a big return on the opening kickoff, which was unacceptable. I thought punting-wise, Marty was really, really good. We gave up that one return, but, we were trying to change field position. Problem is we couldn't get anything going offensively to move the ball, to change that. And, even with all that, it's crazy. It's 13-10. And we lose by 10 points to, I don't even know what they're ranked, 5th, 6th ranked team in the country, 4th.
So, I mean, again, we knew they were good defensively, but, we got to be able to stay on the field more. We just we're so inconsistent. I think our guys pressed a little bit too much today. I think guys were just agitated because, they want to win, and they see it right there. But we have to learn from it. It just wasn't good enough today.
I'll go get them in St. Joe, Coach.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
Lopers head coach Ryan Held. We have your top plays coming up next on News Channel Nebraska.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
How liberal is Dan Osborne? Get this, you worked for your Social Security, but Osborne would give those benefits away to illegal immigrants. It's a slap in the face to seniors. Social Security benefits for illegals? Dan Osborne is so far left, he's not right for Nebraska. Deb Fisher fights for us. She stood with Trump to secure our border and protect Social Security. President Trump endorsed. Deb Fisher for Senate.
I'm Deb Fisher, and I approve this message.
There's something dynamic about a team, a family, a community. At UNK, we thrive on collaboration, turning individual strengths into collective triumphs. Lopers are known for healing others, for big business ideas, for teaching and leading, for being the first generation and inspiring the next. With support from application to graduation, get an affordable education with powerful results. While one can be strong, together we are unstoppable. That's the power of the herd.
Stop into Zollner Ford of Beatrice and check out these great fall offers. A 2024 Ford F-250 starting at only $47,999, or choose 1.9% financing with approved credit. Check out ZollnerFordofBeatrice.com for our $399 a month lease specials on many models in stock. Check out the 2024 full-size hardtop Broncos starting as low as $39,999. We are Zollner Ford of Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Welcome back here to Foster Field at Cope Stadium. Michael Shively, Scott Hoffman with you a final time on a beautiful afternoon. I'll set up the projector, watch some football outdoors tonight. Man, I was just out there and it's nice, but tough mood for the Lopers following a defeat. Let's see how it happened. Your top plays brought to you by Currency. Do you need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? All you need is Currency. Visit GoCurrency.com. UNK playing host to number 4 Pitt State, the 4th-ranked team in the country. It is homecoming. It's a beautiful afternoon in Kearney, and the Loper fans, the band, are fired up. The defense holding strong early, and so is the special teams. They got a field goal block. Then they tried another field goal the next possession, did Pittsburg State. That one went through. So 3-0 in a low-scoring affair to start things out. Here's Chad Dodson Jr., the 3-year starter for Pittsburg State, and the Jacksonville native able to hook up with Kieran Parchman for that 6-yard touchdown, making it 10-0 in favor of the Gorillas, the back-to-back defending MIAA champions. But the Lopers, they're not going to go away without a fight. Reagan Jones, after missing last week with an ankle injury, puts a dime on the hands of his tight ends, Tuni Fifita, for Fifita's second touchdown of the season. That makes it a 3-point affair late in the second quarter. UNK just desperate for some offense, and at the end of the quarter they couldn't find any, heading into half trailing 13-7 the score now. Marty Mormino, who had a terrific day as punter, puts this one right on Medeiros, the punter, who muffs it. You cannot return a muffed punt, right. So Jameer Jones covers it, and it sets up this field goal try, which is good for Trey. And that continues the Lopers on offense. Gets them to 10. Trey Pritchard with that field goal. Lopers defense gets turned around a little bit there, and Kieran Parchman goes over the top of Keon Washington to haul in that 25-yard touchdown grab on the first play of that drive. And that was a huge momentum shifter for Pittsburg State. It made it 20-10, and the Lopers just didn't have enough offense. 86 plays for Pittsburg State, just 52 plays for 138 yards for the Lopers. Pitt State improves to 5-1. The Lopers play tough, but fall to 3-3 to a top 5 Pittsburg State group. Well, Scott, Coach Held said offense, plain and simple, wasn't good enough. And that's what we saw. You can't finish a game with 138 yards of offense and think you're going to win.
No, Pittsburg State's got a good defense, but they're not any better than UNK defense is. And UNK's offense this season has shown from time to time, some explosiveness, but today it just wasn't there. A lot of mental errors, drop passes, penalties again were a problem. And, you know, once things kind of got out of hand, then they become one-dimensional, which they're not a very balanced offense anyway. I mean, and that's not to be derogatory. That's just how they do things. And so they became just a pass-only team, and Pitt was able to lay their ears back and just come after Reagan Jones. And pass protection was a problem. Offensive lines got some issues with some injuries, and it just ended up not being a good situation.
Yeah, we wish the best for the Lopers, who left today's game with injury, hoping they can return this season. There's no rest for Nebraska Kearney. They hit the road again next week, and on Saturday they'll play in St. Joseph, Missouri, against a Missouri Western State team riding high following an upset win over Central Missouri. Then it's back here to Foster Field against a top 20 Emporia State squad in a couple of weeks. We'll be here for that 2 p.m. kickoff, and we hope you join us for that. Thanks so much to the people and places that made this possible today, all of our sponsors who support us throughout the season, the good folks here led by Mark Bauer and Peter Yazvac in Kearney. Thanks so much to our camera crew led by Director Danny Alvarado. On behalf of Scott Hoffman, I'm Michael Shively. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska.